Okay, welcome to Saturday Night Gaming with Mark W. and Rob Bob. I am Mark W. as always, and our sometimes co-host Rob Bob cannot join us because he is remote today and his microphone broke, a likely excuse. But I asked him if he wants to join in the chat, so maybe he'll participate in that manner. But the game I chose today is actually not a two-player one. It would be a game where he would kind of contribute to suggestions and follow along. Here he is in the chat. Hello, Rob Bob. Actually, it tells me I have 0 concurrent viewers right now, and yet Rob Bob is chatting, and probably Arturo is here too because it never counts him because YouTube is mean to people like him. Hey, Eric Johnson is here too. Eric is one of our more recent. Well, I guess you have joined the cohort that I refer to as super regulars. Thanks for joining again, Eric. This game today, WARSIM. This is a interesting and fun little game, but I played this on this stream twice before, and last time I played it was probably at least a year ago, and it was in beta. It was like in beta for maybe 4 years, 5 years. And recently, it has made it to full release, as you can see on the title screen here. Let me open up my drawing tool so I can draw circles. I like to draw circles. 1.07 before. Last time I played it was like 0.8 something. And this game is essentially a kingdom simulator style game, but all text. Well, you'll see. You get. You manage troops and resources and things like that, and there's a lot of like flavor text style scenarios, like a beggar comes to you saying that his crop has failed. Will you give him money, or will you execute him or throw him to the dungeon? You get choices like that, and we kind of have this running joke on this channel because one of our other super regulars, Mr. Arturo, would always suggest that I be a very cruel-hearted king, executing anyone who dares to challenge me on anything or ask me for any favor. I tend to not play games in such a manner, but sometimes I like to turn to the. Oh, here's Arturo. He's challenging me, saying, "I ask you to be fair." Yeah, it's like a guy will say, "Well, please, can I have 5 gold pieces because I'm poor?" And Arturo will be like, "Be fair to him. Throw him into dungeons." But Arturo says that, "Yet I ask you to be fair, yet to make yourself respected." Okay, that's his point of view. Anyway, yeah, it's been a while. We could go through the tutorial a little bit. They have like different levels of the tutorial, like super deep or just kind of an overview. I think maybe it's something like an overview would be good enough, though. This will help you, the viewers who've seen it before, refresh, as well as new people get a basic idea of what's going on. But yeah, this game is pretty deep and interesting, and it's made by this one guy named, I don't actually know how to pronounce his first name, unfortunately. It's something like Hugh Millward, and it's kind of like a huge passion project for him. I mean, I guess he's making some money too, so I don't know if I could strictly say that, but he kind of just is just constantly adding to this game. It's something he really loves doing, and I kind of remember he talked a little bit about, maybe it was on Reddit, about how he wasn't really an experienced programmer, but he just kind of plugged away at it regardless. And one of the things that would kind of make a professional programmer balk, I guess he is technically professional, but most people who program for a living, they would balk at the fact that he made one giant source file, and it's something like, I think he said something like, don't quote me on this number, something like 200,000 lines of code in one giant file, with a lot of like just jumping around in the same file, and that's typically considered something very hard to manage, and you wouldn't do that. But in a sense, if you're a single programmer, you don't have several people working on different parts, so it's not the worst thing. Anyway, I don't want to get too deep into programming best practices, but Arturo adds, send the viewers that don't know the game to the dungeon and just start playing. You're gonna make me excuse me. I gotta get used to the mute button on this new headset. when I have coughing fits. Anyway, why don't we actually start? And I'm guessing I can just jump into it by hitting start new game. It'll offer the choice for a tutorial. And by the way, expect to see faces like this the whole time. A lot of these are procedurally generated, I think. These faces, it just kind of puts different faces together, different shapes and numbers of eyes and things like that. And it's almost like playing an old school BBS game, if anybody here remembers those, or like a MUD or something like that. But it's single player, it's not online. One thing that's funny is I heard of this game first. I know I'm babbling more when I said I was going to jump into it, but I think this is a fun little tidbit. Is one of the subreddits I'm on is RBBS, where people talk about old school BBSs as well as current BBSs. You know, games like Legend of the Red Dragon and such were really popular in BBSs. But I think Mr. and again I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong, but Mr. Hugh Millward chimed in on RBBS and was like, "Hey, I never played a BBS game, but this game that I've made, it seems kind of like it. What do you guys think?" Something like that. And that's where I first heard of this game. So it was basically he made a game similar to what you would find in old school BBSs, but he had never heard of a BBS before. So he just kind of independently made something very similar. Although the BBS games are usually online and multiplayer, but nonetheless pretty similar. Anyway, yeah, here you decide what your world will look like. This choice completely shapes the game, so choose wisely. So you can start with the races that inhabit your world. You can let the game generate randomly. I should probably change my drawing tools color because yellow on yellow isn't great. Let's go to red. If I can remember how to do that. Well, maybe I'll just have to deal. I don't know how to do it. Anyway, yeah, the different races that can inhabit your world, and you can have them randomly generated. And so there's approximately 95 million different combinations of races. And that's kind of mixing different qualities of like you know, I'm a little rusty, so I don't remember a perfect example, but it could be something like giant demons or something like that. Or so that's as opposed to a giant ghost. It's all these weird kind of races. Goblins. Some of them are pre-built, I think, like they're kind of always there. I think in fact goblins are always there. And they're slaves by default. You can select the races, you can choose your own. Or you can completely customize the game, choose everything you want in the game. Or you can choose between preset race packs, which are presumably pretty good packs, like good combinations that work together, or they have a common theme or something like that. I don't think I've ever checked out the preset race packs, but I'll do so for the heck of it. So here they are. You can have humans only human races, creature races. But yeah, so these seem like theme rather than necessarily things that mechanically work together. Like just similar themes. Creature races, everything but wizard races. Undead races only. You can live in a zombie world. A ghoulish world, they describe it as. Orcs, goblins, and green things, just green things. Token-like races. So if you wanted to have something similar to Token, you have your basic kind of orcs, elves, dwarves, goblins, and so on. WARSIM Original, the races that were invented for WARSIM, I guess only those. Only wizard races, insignificant mortal. And look at this screen, by the way. This is kind of the theme, the general theme of this whole game is you have way too much detail. I think it's awesome. It's too much in the sense that it can be overwhelming, the amount of choices the game tends to give you, but it's also awesome that the developer just wanted to put that much detail into it. There'll be times when you like go to a store and you see like maybe not quite this many choices, but more than you would expect. Not just like talk, buy, sell. You might have like, you know, 7 options. Anyway, why don't we do random? That might be fun. Oh, I think I picked one by accident. Hold on. I hit 0 because I thought that would quit or something, but it says race pack selected blank. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it up to fate and see what happens. All right, we'll see what happens with the races. Time limit, you can choose how many years the game runs for, and you know, it's especially with me taking my time and talking through this, I'm probably not gonna I'm definitely not gonna finish a game even if I pick the very short option, which is 25 years. I think each year will probably take like a half hour or so. Let's just hit short, very short. Theme music, you can have the classic theme, 8-bit theme, menu theme, which is the active one, or calm theme, no music. I'll just leave it as is, I guess. And Eric Johnson says the faces remind me of Facemaker from Spinnaker, Commodore 64. I've heard of that. I've never played with it, though. All right. I'm going to be King, Queen, or Custom. It's just my title. Let's go with Queen. Queen. Make your own name. Random masculine name. Masculine feminine. Let's do random masculine. I can be Ordemal Gentleheart. No. See, that would, that's what Arturo would call me because he said I'm too gentle. But I'm going to be a little tougher. So let's get a different name. Yeah, here we go. I am King. Unfortunately, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Meton, the champion of fear. Let's go with that, champion of fear. Do you want to make your own kingdom name or have one randomly generated? Random kingdom name. Ginden. Let's get a new one. Dustgarth. Alcovia. Handir's Domain. Earth. That's kind of funny. I remember this from a specific tabletop role-playing game I used to play called GURPS Fantasy. GURPS was a generic role-playing system where you could plug in a different world book and play in all different kinds of scenarios, like, you know, sci-fi and fantasy and medieval Japan, whatever. And the fantasy setting had a world called Earth, spelled just like this. So that's really funny to me. I wonder if you played GURPS Fantasy. I'll accept Earth just because that's a cool reference. Alright, so you can play different difficulty levels. I'm still pretty much a noob at this game, though. I could probably go to at least easy. Casual doesn't even, like, give you any challenges. But you can see the differences here. Casual is going to be hard to lose. Easy, start off with lots of land and troops and gold. Normal, standard, start hard. Strapped for resources, solid. Only one land and very few troops. Insane, you're screwed. I think I'll just go with easy. Number 2. Easy mode. You are the ruler of the great and once dominant kingdom of Earth, fighting against the troublesome rebellion of Faradal, the Kinslayer, and the hordes of bandits loyal to Fëanor, overlord of the bandits' horde. The world is vast and complex. There is much to see and do, and little time to waste. From the fabled ancient lands to the blood-soaked arena, these lands called to be united under the flag of Earth. Okay, it's randomly generating stuff. It's giving you like a status update about what it's currently doing at any given moment right here. Generating independent kingdoms. The dreaded kingdom, ocean, it goes too fast to read, really. While that's going, I can refine my cropping on the screen a little bit. Cropping. Let's crop a little bit of that top stuff. It really does draw right to the edge of the screen on the right. The world is full of mystery and wonder. There are many peoples in this world. They are men. Death Eater people. They sound scarier than men. Sacred Terramancers. Doomed mermen. Mouthless lake kobolds. How do they eat? Sunset troglodytes. Goblins and demons. So I guess we did pick random races. Some funky ones here. Like mouthless lake kobold. I imagine these little goblin-like creatures that live in the water, and they have like fins and gills and no mouth. And I'm trying to think how they eat. The annals of history. Remember well your rise to the throne. How did it happen? And Arturo says we are all Death Eaters. I'm eating a dead chicken right now. Well, it's better than eating a live chicken. This game is a little weird in the way it loads in your console. It's hard to get it, like, you would think by default things would just kind of automatically fit right, but the way, for me, it tends to scroll the top a little bit off, so I'm actually using my mouse wheel right now. We can just live with it. What are we going to do? Anyway, you can decide how you became king, and So we choose from various options. Number 1, by the way, call out in the chat which option looks good to you. Otherwise, I will pick one. Number 1, just type the number. My father, the previous ruler, was assassinated. Number 2, my father, the previous ruler, died of old age. Number 3, my father, the previous ruler, turned mad and was jailed. 4, I won the throne in a bet with the previous ruler. Rob Bob says, I think 3 will happen to me. Hey, wait a minute. 5. Okay. He's going to take... For those who don't know, Rob Bob is my son, so... 5. I'm a bandit warlord and took the throne with my bandit army. 6. I stole the throne with demonic trickery to serve the overlord. 7. I pulled a fabled sword from a stone. 8. My father's a village elder and inherited the throne by accident. 9. My enslaved forces were able to overthrow the previous ruler. 10. I won the throne in a tournament to find the new ruler by strength. 11. I led a slave revolt and overthrew the slavers who ruled. 12. It's a long story. 13. Leave it up to fate. All right. Well, it's a lot of options. Again, there's so many options. And I don't know how much of this actually has influence on the game. I know I picked one of these ones where I started out with everybody hating me. Maybe it's because I picked number 5 or something like that. So it actually does affect the game, but I don't know how variant they are. Maybe some of them are neutral. Some of them are extreme. Arturo says 4, but you cheated. I won the throne in a bet. That's why I cheated on the bet. Eric says 12. It's a long story. It's funny, but I don't know the repercussion. That's fine. We can't really stress over the repercussions. All right, so we got votes for 3, 4, and 12. Maybe I'll just choose one of those kind of arbitrarily. Oh, Rob Bob actually votes 7, pulling the sword from the stone. Okay. Let's go with 12. It's a long story. I don't know what that's going to do. You grew up in a farmstead near a small town in Earth, raised by your mother. Life was simple but harsh. Your prized possession was a tome read to you when you were young, The Crown of Mai. And Arturo says Rob Bob didn't vote for 3. He just identified with it. True, true, true. The book was centered around an ancient law claiming there was an ancient and mythical crown of the land lost in a faraway eastern kingdom. Part of me is wondering if I should be taking notes. Like, do I really have to find this crown now or something? But I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna roll with it. They who found the crown would be declared ruler. Many searched for it, but none succeeded, and over time the tales fell to obscurity. As you grew up, you worked in guilds. It is a long story. Look at this. As you grew up, you worked in guilds and on farms around the realm, doing odd jobs and making a living, but you found yourself wanting more. Your dreams were of the mythical crown to the east. For a time, you tried not to think about it, but you could not. It consumed your thoughts and was always on your mind. One day, you sold all of your things and paid for boat passage to sail across the eastern sea. Oh, this is how I became king. I found the crown. Duh. Across the eastern sea towards foreign land. The journey took 2 months across the wide open sea until you arrived in a land mired by a humid jungle and tall mountains. You spent many weeks looking at this weirdo, exploring the towns and cities of the land, and met many friends, namely an eastern warrior named Omer, who saves you many a time from seedy merchants and hostile foreign warriors. Fortune was not on your side, and after your weeks of exploration, you fell sick. While in a small town... By the way, let me know about the sound volumes. I noticed the game is playing sounds right now. I don't think it's too loud, but if you need me to turn it down, let me know. But yeah, fortune was not on your side after your weeks of exploration, you fell sick. While in a small town at the foot of a great mountain. Here in your sickness, the dreams got stronger, the crown whispering to you. Psst, 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 psst. You sat sickly near a palm tree observing the great mountain one morn, when a local well-versed in your tongue stopped to talk and said, "You have the look of many a traveler who visits the mountain of Mai. You should not climb it. The mountain punishes those who try to pass." You could not believe it. The mountain of Mai, as the books had foretold. That night you hatched a plan to traverse the mountain once the sickness wore off. You are low on gold now, and had only enough for a horse or a healer. Why not both? You sat for a while staring at the mountain, and that night you bought the horse and rode for Mai. The mountain was large and treacherous. You left your horse halfway and began a climb in your sickness, driven by pure willpower. Rocks that came loose in your climb fell for minutes before reaching the bottom. So somebody who knows some physics formulas should try to calculate how high you'd have to be up for an object to fall, and it would take minutes for it to hit the ground. Acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meters per second square, and go. Anyway, as you neared the top, you lost your grip and fell from a great height, landing on some tree branches and breaking them. I'm trying to see what that picture is. Is that the mountain and I'm the X falling from it? That could be it. Now bloodied and sick, you lay awaiting death and cursing yourself for this ill-fated journey when you spied a torch of flame illuminating the smallest cavern hidden in the ravine you had fallen into. You gathered your strength and curiously approached the cave to discover a crude rocky shrine. Resting atop was a crown, the ancient crown of Mai, and two skulls near it with jeweled eyes. You took the crown and the jeweled eyes, and with a newfound sense of life and vigor, you climbed, crawled, and slipped your way down the mountain. Finding your horse by pure luck, you rode back to the town and traded one of the 4 jeweled eyes for a small sum of and enough gold to hire a ship back to Earth. You returned, and once healed and in good health, you marched to the throne room during a procession of court and proclaimed to all your finding of the ancient crown of Mai. The old king and royal council were in disbelief, but once they saw the crown, they knew the prophecy had been fulfilled, and the king surrendered the crown and abdicated. And that is how you became the king of Earth. +10 public opinion. Due to your adventure rise to the throne, people like that. Plus 1,500 gold coins from the 3 jeweled eyes. I had traded one of them earlier. And I get Omer the Friend as first champion of Earth. The crown of Mai can be viewed in the throne room. Alright, that seems more advantageous than some of the options I've seen. I don't know if there's some random element to each time you choose a long story. I would think probably not. I don't know how many stories they could concoct. Well, it's possible they could randomize some details of it. Anyway, you were invited to the royal crowning ceremony, where you will learn of your newly inherited realm. Of course, you are the ruler of this kingdom, and can also ignore the ceremony completely. Now, let's go to it. I had to turn up the volume. It seemed very low. And Eric says that's quite the backstory. That was pretty cool, huh? You enter the throne room for the first time as the ruler of Earth. Crowds of people gather to see their new king. As you take a moment to observe the room, the High General of Earth approaches. General Gorin Pikener. Greetings to you. I hope you are well, my lord. I shall crown you as the one true king of Earth. You've gained this title by destiny, by finding the lost crown of Mai. You are now the king of Earth. Long may you reign. Now, as is our silly little tradition, you must do something. We must do something. A minute of silence for our ancestors. Yes, 1 minute, that's all they get, and they should be happy with it. For a minute, everyone in your court is silent, and all that remains is the whistling of the wind and the sound of muffled breathing. Probably the occasional cough. You know when you're like, I don't know if everybody, I don't know all the church-going habits of people here, but you know when you go to church and everybody's silent, but you keep hearing coughs, like, that's what I imagine is happening. And that brings our ceremonious Ceremony is ceremony to an end. Now you will certainly wish to know the state of the realm. The earth has a vast and far reach, spanning 10 territories. The kingdom's personal army consists of 1,500 peasant workers, 500 soldiers, and 15 loyal knights who serve your cause. Now that's all for military matters. For the realm's finances, the kingdom has a total of 11,500 gold. You can tell I started with 10,000, but I got that 1,500 bonus from the story. 11,500 gold in its coffers, which is a decent sum. There's also 967 additional gold in the bank. Yeah, I forgot there's a bank. My king, now that you are crowned, you may speak to Old Kroll if you wish for any tutoring on matters of the realm. If you are unsure of what to do, I would highly recommend it, though if you would like to discuss it later, you may do so by returning to the throne room. Eric says 11,500 gold under the mattress, apparently. Yeah, it's not, most of it's not in the bank. Okay, let's speak to Old Kroll. He'll give us the lowdown of how to play. Welcome, my lord. Prepare yourself for some good old tutoring. Now, firstly, I must ask how you'd prefer me to explain these things. I could give you a full explanation with every detail, a fair explanation with less of the less relevant detail, or if you wish, a version so simple a mere child could understand it. I'm gonna go with the child. I remember it does get quite deep. Simple version. Pardon me. I'm gonna try to get into the habit of pressing my mute button. Let me try that out when I have coughing fits randomly. Testing. Hold on. Testing. 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 Oh. Oh, I just realized I'm not using my headset. Okay. Sorry, I'm talking into my laptop mic. Let me fix that up. It might sound different. Testing. 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 I got it. I figured out the mute. All right, cool. I've done it before, but I had forgotten. All right. So, what am I doing? Press any top menu, show gold, show. The laptop mic sounds better. Maybe I'll just use that. I mean, I've actually heard that quite a few times before. That, well, not necessarily in this context, but that this is a MacBook Pro from 2021. A lot of people say the mic is better, and there were even people on YouTube like it's possible they were paid off by Apple, but there was like one musician woman who like recorded a full song just using the MacBook Pro's mic, and it sounded awesome and everything. All right, I switched them. Now I just have to remember to mute. I'll just click in my streaming software, this little speaker thingy, speaker icon thingy. All right, so I'm gonna go with the MacBook Pro microphone. I think this is actually telling me what to do. Top menu, show gold, show lands is help. This is it's kind of communicating in grunts almost. Hire men fight, you win. I'm not sure. Is it telling me that's number one? I guess it's a little bit highlighted. I'm a little confused by this. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, that was the first one. Okay, I see. So it's the first one. You hire men fight, you win. They really are kind of accurate about it, like being for a child. It's even simpler than that though. The next section is mercenary companies though. Hire mercs, kill enemies, you win. Next up we have managed staff and champions. Hire staff work, you win. I mean, there's no point really. Okay. I guess I disagree with the value of this thing, except for the humor value. Because it's like the name of the option is not really, you know, any less clear than this description is. That's fine though, let's just go. Arrange diplomacy is make friends, friends trade, you win. To be fair, they're telling me every time I can change the level of detail. Change laws of the land, make laws, imprison everyone. You win. You win. Kingdom upgrades, buy buildings, use them, you win. 7, visit the throne room. Hire steward, ignore throne room, you win. 8, visit the local fight pit. Bet gold, your guy wins, you win. Visit the royal bank. Store gold, savings grow, you win. Yeah, I think that's good to do by the end of your turn, if I recall correctly. You get some interest as you end your turn, which is, each turn is a year. And I think that's the best way to do it. You just kind of leave your money on hand, and whatever you're left with at the end of the year, you deposit in the bank. Visit other buildings. Build buildings, visit them, you win. Kingdom reports. Read reports, understand more, you win. Explore the realm, explore land, discover all, you win. All right. Now we're at the end of current year. End turn, invade enemy, you win. Yeah, so after you do all your stuff like explore and deal with the throne room and hire people, etc., you end the current year, and then you have the opportunity to invade enemies if you want. Of course, that's where it gets really exciting. All right, so I left the tutorial. I'm gonna see if I can do anything about this scrolling off the top. Doesn't really. It's a little obnoxious. Oh well. All right, so you can review each section of this tutorial or move on. I'm gonna move on. Very well, take care, my lord. All right, so here we are in the first year of the game. It is year 111. We have, again, 11k 500 gold, 2015 men, lands 10, public opinion 45, years remaining 25. Okay, let's start at the throne room. So you start and you deal with each visitor. There's 28 waiting in a line to present their info or request to me. You can hire a steward, as the tutorial mentioned, to not have to do this all manually. But it's kind of fun to do a little bit at first until you get tired of it. So let's do it. I'm going to adjust my cropping a little again. Bear with me a second. Bottom. It's getting cut off a wee bit. It's a little better. All right, throne room. Welcome to the throne room. Here you can deal with visitors from across your realm and beyond. As time goes on, you may find the number of visitors swelling to huge lines. As a ruler, you may choose to deal with every last visitor, but if the task becomes too monotonous, you should look to hiring a steward. Stewards will deal with any visitors left unseen by you at the end of a turn. Hello, Arando. Welcome. Be careful who you hire to be your steward, though. Stewards can have one of a number of different traits that affect how they manage and deal with throne room visitors. The traits are xenophobe, they will be unfavorable to non-humans. Dungeoneer, they will imprison most throne room visitors. Arturo. Kind-hearted, they will always act with kindness. Military, they will always recruit any hireable visitors. Goblin friend, they will always be nice to goblin visitors. Money grubber, they will never spend any money. Send in the next visitor, I say. You are visited by an unhappy farmhand who claims to have come in possession of a magical fruit. Arando says nice beard. Thank you, Arando. Rob Bob says military might be good. Okay. For now, I'm just going to go through the throne room personally. Anyway, the magical fruit. He claims it can be fed to soldiers to make them stronger, and asks for 10 gold for it. He calls it blue tree, and claims it has come from a magical farm. Yeah, I think it's a real thing in this game. So I'll buy some fruit from him, sure. See if it's a trick, though. The unhappy farmman hands you the fruit, takes his gold and leaves. You have it taken away and put in storage. Okay. Let's see. Here's other options besides just checking out one guy at a time, by the way. You can arrange entertainment, upgrade the throne room, manage the number of visitors, set the rules for who you want visiting, call a meeting of the Council of Earth, revisit the tutorial, look at the crown of Maya. Let's look at the crown in all its splendor. All its ASCII splendor. You approach and see the fabled lost crown of Mai. It looks just as it did when you discovered it in that cave all those years ago. Alright, next visitor. You are visited by an armed man who says he has visions of fighting on the battlefield for Earth and wishes to fulfill them. Sure, enlist. Free soldier. And he's giggling too. The armed man begins laughing and says, "Thank you, you're the best," and then jogs out to collect his equipment. Next up. You're visited by an old knight who wants to go in quest for you and Earth. Allow him to quest, refuse, or to the dungeons. Sure, join me. +1 questing knight. He says a quest it is. You have my word. I'll be back. I like it. They're giving me free stuff so far, but not all of them are good. You're visited by a traveling bard. He asks to play a song on his vampiric lute for a price of 105 gold. I am pretty good at this. I shall play you a short song. Look at him. He's a vampire. I'm not going to pay all that money to hear some rando vampire's song. Let me ask you his origins. Where are you from? Ever since I saw a traveling bard when I was young, I decided I would become a great musician. Rob Bob said I think the right side might be cut out a bit. Okay, let me see what I can do there. Maybe that'll do it. And it looks like the left might be, but really it just draws that close to the edge of the window, so that really is accurate. Arturo says he presumes he can charge you for his so-called art. He should pay to play for you. I agree, Arturo. I don't know about throwing him in the dungeon immediately. Well, let's see what he says. Ever since I saw a traveling bard when I was young, I decided I would become a great musician. What's your name, fool? The bard reveals his name to be Spulacula. Okay, Spulacula the vampire bard. I am going to tell him to leave. I'm a little softer than Arturo, but I am not going to pay 105. The bard says, "Ha! Oh, for hell's sake, are you serious?" And then storms out. -1 relation to the Musicians Guild. Next time, charge less, or you pay me. Eric says spatula plus Dracula. Yeah. Send in the next visitor. You are visited by an old hag who says she is due a payment of protection. What is she? Is she in the mafia? She says she is a powerful witch, and without payment, you will suffer dire consequences. Well, I think that Arturo's usual harshness is warranted in this case. You can't just walk in here and threaten me with bad stuff. And Rob Bob says dungeon. Let me read all the options. Pay the gold, 1,000. I only have 11,500. I mean, really? Pay double, 2,000. 3, refuse. 4, kill the witch. Or 5, to the dungeons with her. So I think it's a choice of 3, 4, or 5. What do you guys think? Should we just say no, kill her, or to the dungeons? It is possible I'll get some negative effect, but I'm not gonna pay all that money. Arturo says if she pays for protection, to the dungeons. Okay, I'll go to the dungeons. The hag has a heart attack as your guards approach her. It seems she was just an old woman pretending to be a witch. So is she dead? Alright, stupid old woman. Send in the next visitor. A peasant man arrives in your court and asks you fancy flipping coins for fun. It can be fun sometimes. Let's bet small amount. Well, let's see what 5 is. I have a question for you. Tell me about the coin you're using. Just a scratched up old gold coin. Why do you gamble? Not much else to do in my village, my lord. Does he have like a lion face? I'm trying to figure out what this is. Alright, I'm gonna bet 1 gold here. I call tails. The coin lands on tails. You win. Woohoo! Take that, peasant man. Okay, I'm done playing. I took his gold, tiny bit of gold, and then kicked him out. Shall we arrange entertainment? Nah. I'll do 1 more visitor and then move on to another section. You are visited by a foreign village idiot who claims one of your soldiers broke his fence. He seeks reparations for the broken fence, saying it was passed down his family for generations. My mother gave me that fence, and her grandfather built it. No thanks. The foreign village idiot says, I see, farewell then, and leaves. Eric says, this part of the game reminds me of Reigns. Oh, I don't know that game. Tell me more about Reigns. Okay, let's go. Arturo says he will seek revenge. Yeah, whatever. He belonged to the dungeon. Oh, okay. Arturo just thinks everybody should be put in the dungeons or executed. Visit the royal bank. Visit the local fight pit. Let's check out the fight pit. Watch a fight. Bet on a fight. Speak to a local patron of the pit. Speak to the pit owner, Hezak the Warglike. Watch fights, events all at once. Attack the pit. How do you attack the pit? I guess it means try to conquer it, attack all the administration. Arando asks, what's your favorite game? Mine? Well, it's hard to pick one single game, but one of my all-time favorites is the multiplayer couch co-op classic Mule. That's a lot of fun. All right, let's try betting on a fight. So I have to pay $11 for the entry fee, and I can bet on the peasant village champion or the infuriated bandit warlord. Wow, I think the infuriated bandit warlord sounds tougher. Eric says, in Reigns, you're the king and you handle random events like these. You handle 4 stats. If anyone's stat hits 0, you lose. Okay, that's cool. And Arturo says, peasants, but too late. I bet on the other one. I'm going to bet 1,000. I'm getting crazy already. Might regret this. The gates slide open and the crowd chatters away. 2 fighters emerge from either end of the pit. They charge in and engage. The fight has begun. Eric, what is Reigns for? Like, what? Is it an old school game, or is it for mobile, or what operating system, etc.? All right, let's see how we're doing here. So off the bat, we can see the peasant village champion actually has way more hit points, about double. And you can read each of these one by one. Normally when you're playing for a while, it's just flavor and you kind of skip by it really quick, but for now we can read it. Infuriated bandit warlord parries with peasant village champion for a moment. Several coins are thrown to the ground by the crowd. Infuriated bandit warlord and peasant village champion get caught in a parry that what? I can see it is cut off on your guys' end, but also mine. It's kind of annoying that the game does this, but I can fix it to some degree for you guys by fixing the rightmost cropping a little bit. Okay, that should be better for you, but it literally stops right there. I'll have to make a bug report. Okay, I'm about to lose my 1,000 gold. Peasant Village Champion gets a very sharp strike on Infuriated Bandit Warlord. Infuriated Bandit Warlord swings his sword around several times for the crowd. He's showboating, but he can't fight. And what do you guys say in the chat, by the way? Arturo says he's a champion, and the other one has already lost his own rage. Already lost to his own rage. Eric says it's on Steam. I own it on Android. I even had it on Stadia at one point, back when Stadia was a thing. Rob Bob says it's not a fair fight. All right, look at that. Peasant Village Champion took a hit. Infuriated Bandit Warlord cracks Peasant Village Champion on the head. Come on. Infuriated Bandit Warlord. I'm going to just abbreviate their names to Warlord and Peasant, because it's hard to read it all every time. They get caught in a parry that. The Warlord swings for Peasant, but slips and slight. I can't believe they will. It could be because I'm the way I'm playing this. I actually playing this on my Mac, and it's actually only a Windows game, but I'm able to launch it with crossover, so it could be related to that. That it gets cut off. And the Peasant and Warlord get caught in a parry. Warlord swings and stabs Peasant. Nice. Keep going, Warlord. Warlord blocks and manages to return a small strike to the Peasant. Peasant tries to attack but falls over his own feet. Now we're cooking. Warlord gets a dazzlingly quick strike on Peasant. Peasant gets a little hit on Infuriated Bandit Warlord, only two hit points. Yes! Warlord stabs deeply into the Peasant Champion's body, leaving something. Finish him. Overkill! I bet on the right horse. The right Warlord. Alright. I win 1,500 gold. Peasant Village Champion is defeated and no more. The crowd cheers and shouts for Infuriated Bandit Warlord as he leaves victorious. Shall we speak to a local patron? I've been to many tourneys and I've never seen anyone as skilled as the current guy. I'm gonna say it's guy. Can I do anything about this? This is obnoxious. Oh, look at it. It let me expand it. Okay. Current Grand Champion. So let me fix this for you guys. Okay, let's be a second. Ta-da! It works. Okay, so the game's not broken with the output. It just I had my window a little sized badly. And what are you guys saying in the chat? Arturo says, send the Warlord to the dungeon. How dare you make you lose money? No, I won. Rob Bob says, you win 1.5 your bet. So you can't you just win infinite money? No, actually, you have a limited number of bets, and also the pit itself has a limited number of money. So you can actually bet until you drain them of all their money. And Rob Bob says, but you only lose one time your bet. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Is like over time you're more likely to win, and that's kind of I think that's kind of the point. The game encourages you to just do this to earn money. If it was the way this kind of thing works in these kind of games is, you know, I think about like Legend of the Red Dragon or something like that. If it's like a losing proposition more often than not, or 50-50, you just tend not to go there unless you're like really desperate. Like you tend not to participate in the gamble. So in this game they made it so it's you tend to win, I guess. But you know, it depends. Obviously, if you make a huge bet and you happen to lose that one time, obviously it's going to hurt you more. But yeah, you can easily win more in the long run. All right, why don't we check out diplomacy? So here are the different groups. Over here it says your head diplomat, Old Crow, appears before you and bows. You begin to discuss possible diplomatic moves and actions with your neighbors. So the rebels are at war. This means with me, by the way. They're at war with me. The bandit horde is at war with me. Goblin Kingdom of Krut and Iraq are both at war with me. Not Iraq. It's Iraq. Independent territories. That's like a sub menu, I think. Earth Militia, Bandits of the Realm, that's separate from the Bandit Horde. Adventurer groups, and Herklar the Goblin Slaver. It's funny, it's telling me I have one viewer, and yet there's like 4 people chatting. It's not counting anybody anymore, practically. Alright, let's check out... I don't remember how this works, really. Well, let's check out the first one, the Rebels. So you can see over here our faction relation is -31 because we're actively at war. We hate each other, I guess. But you can actually bribe them to stop raiding you. That's one option. I'm not going to do that. I couldn't afford it if I wanted to. You can actually bribe them to disband if you give them a huge amount of money. You say, hey, just stop existing. They go, all right. You can ask about them. The rebellion is made up of nobles of the kingdom who reject the crown of Mai as having any relevance to the realm. Hey, I found that crown in a mountain. It's very relevant. And call for the old ruler to be reinstated to power. So they're still with the old king. Oh, that king voluntarily gave up the throne, though. It's not like I forced him out. He didn't have to do that. Of course, if he didn't abdicate, you know, it's possible there would have been something like a civil war. About Faradal the Kinslayer. Faradal is the leader of the rebellion against the crown of Mai. He claims that once you are deposed of the crown of Mai, once you are deposed, the crown of Mai will be melted down and the so-called prophecy will be reduced to dust. View their troop tree. You can see so much info in this game, it's ridiculous. These are the types of troops they have and what their battle score is, which is just basically how powerful they are in battle. And you can see their relations with other factions. Look at this. So, they're really friendly with themselves. I guess it's always 100 for a self-relation. But it seems like they mostly don't get along with anybody, really. Alright. The Bandit Horde. I'm not going to like check every little detail here, but it is cool that you have all this info. And look how much it would cost to disband the bandits. 39 million. This is about Fëanor the Overlord. Fëanor originally began as a street thug. As a boy, he was often fighting, and when he grew up, he took it to a new level. Fighting became killing, and killing became nothing. What? What does that mean? Fëanor was a monster. Okay, it means like killing became like nothing to him. Got it. One day he marched to the cabin of the man who led the biggest bandits gang in the region, carved his eyes out, and declared himself king of all outlaws. It wasn't long before his declaration became reality. That's the way to do it. You carve out somebody's eyes to take over. That reminds me of like the old thing that people say, which is probably not true, that when you get sent to prison, the first thing you have to do is beat up the biggest and baddest guy there to assert your dominance. All right. We're at war with these 2 goblin kingdoms. It looks like we don't hate each other too much. We're just on this little bit side of the negative. A little bit more of a, you know, diplomacy, and we could become neutral, I guess. But do I want to? One of the 2 largest goblin clans in the land, rival to the kingdom of Iraq, and vast in number, they are known for their tribal nature. So let's check the kingdom of Iraq. One of the 2 largest goblin clans in the land, rival to the kingdom of Krut, and vast in number, they are known for their tribal nature as well, apparently. So much going on in this game, it's crazy. Independent territory, that takes me to this sub-level. Look at this. It's almost too much. Sometimes I'm like, oh, it's late, I don't want to do all this. But you don't really have to dig into every detail, you know. But what I could do is try to extend diplomacy to somebody. Iraq is where Eric lives. He said, yeah, Eric says Iraq must be where I live. Earth Militia. These are my peeps. You call forth the head of the militia, Trelan, the magic fruit farmer, who will arrive eager to hear what you have to say. What's your stats? There are 431 of them. And what happens is you can get other territories when you explore, and then you can have militia defend them. You know, set up an outpost kind of a thing. They're highly defensive. Oops, I skipped that a little bit. You can ask them to get... you can buy more troops from the militia. You can ask them to cease operation. This game tends to sometimes give you these really extreme options. Like, oh, tell this guy to go kill himself. Or, you know, disband your entire army. And you better not hit that by accident, you know. What is the militia? Let's check that out. The militia is a group of loosely organized peasants from your realm. They can be ordered to help your own troops defend your lands or to stay out of the way. When hiring peasants from the Hire Troops menu, you are hiring them from the militia. If you hire them all, the militia temporarily disbands until more men join. Once hired to your own army, the peasants will work the fields, produce income for you, and can be used in battle, and will automatically defend your lands. Okay, anyway, do I want to try any diplomacy? Let's try one of the adventurer groups, maybe. You are brought a list of the currently active adventuring groups you know of. You are welcome to try and contact them, but groups of adventurers are notoriously difficult to find. And I imagine these groups are sort of like your typical D&D party or something like that. And their names are, these are randomly generated, I think, procedurally generated. Anointed Pigeons, Jilzia's Clique, Stone-Faced Mercenary Company, Stony Dark Razors, Blazing Renegades, Blossoming Boa Woodland Raiders, Savage Western Wyverns, Kyuk's Goldworthy Voyaging Band, Rankar's Adventures, the Heroes of Weevil. Let's check out the Anointed Pigeons. You inquire about the Anointed Pigeons and are told they are a group of sacred terramancers who engage in slavery. They are wary of us, but not outright hostile. View Earth the hunched information. He's stronger than a knight. You cannot summon them to your throne room as you lack the emissaries. You can send out a small warband to fight them. Send out a warband to fight them. Okay. Yeah, can I do any actual diplomacy here? Don't remember how this works. Herklar the Slaver. I'll speak to the Goblin Slaver. What would you like to know, my king? Who are you? I am Herklar the Goblin Slaver, and I capture and sell goblins for profit. What makes you different from all the other Goblin Slavers? Well, I pay you less in tributes than most would. It's a fine agreement, hee hee. What do Goblin Slavers think of me in general? What are they saying about me? Do they like me? You aren't seen as anything other than a potential buyer. Why are you a slaver? We are bigger and stronger than them. You don't think we would be in cages if those green rats were bigger? Welcome to life. Okay. Have him executed? No. Okay, got no relation with him. Blah, blah, blah. His special ability is Penny Pincher. He pays half the normal tribute. Man, this game, yeah, it is overwhelming. All right, I'm going to get out of this diplomacy menu because I'm getting overwhelmed. And I'm going to go, let's check other buildings. I think you just start with a jail or something. Yeah, look, I got a prison. And all these other areas here are just kind of empty slots at the moment. I really wish I had my thing to change the color, but it's not showing up on my menu bar. I don't know why. I like to use a color different than yellow. Let's check out the prison. You visit your prison. It's a small walled building that has a maximum capacity of 1,000 total inmates. How many prisoners do I have? 93. Order 2 prisoners to fight to the death. Speak to a prisoner. I know you. You're in charge of this joint. Come on, let us out. Change prison rules. I can close the prison, set prisoners free. Declare mass execution law. Keep prison population low. Declare rehabilitation law. That, I guess it costs 1k gold per turn? Or does that give me 1k gold per turn? Not sure. Allow overzealous arrests. More prisoners each turn. You, I saw you picking your nose. Go to jail. You can upgrade the prison. If I spend 10k, which is practically all my money, I can build a prison labor yard to earn income from prisoners. All right. I could earn a lot of money in the fight pit, just keep betting. But let's do explore the realm for now. I only get 3 explorations per turn. What's the point of number 2? Decrease the prisoner count? I guess so. Maybe if you have too many? I don't really know what the consequences are of having a full prison, though. Maybe crime starts to run rampant or something like that. And Rob Bob says, get a prison labor yard and then play like Arturo. Sorry, I gotta make sure I can see all the words here. YouTube chat has this annoying heart logo that makes it hard to see sometimes. All right, let's explore. We can check any of these areas. The Lands Beyond is new. I haven't seen that before. But basically, the first 4, north, south, east, and west, is a limited number of places to explore. 30, 29, 35, 40. And I think I heard about this in an update. This is just like, I just kind of glanced at the update. But I think it means basically, you know, it'll just keep throwing locations at you infinitely. And you never run out if you just kind of want to play endlessly. But since I'm playing only 25 turns, I don't think I'm going to have the luxury of exploring forever. Start Northern Lands, I guess. The near north. It's a cold place, though mild compared to the rest of the north. The place is filled with forts and places of violence, such as the Brawler's Pit and the Thick Blood Tavern. You've yet to explore here. Press 1 to explore. Let's do it. We're going to explore in the near north. Discover our recently put out campfire. Okay, which is essentially nothing, I guess. I wasted that 1 exploration. So I could try another region or just keep doing it here. I'll just do it here again, I guess. I found the Slavers Fort. Alright, let's check them out. Slaver Army. You arrive at the Slavers Fort. There are many men and slaves here. The fort is guarded by an army of slavers and slave soldiers, and all around you see rich merchants and petty lords bargaining for slaves. Enter the Slavers Fort. You enter the great hall of the Slavers Fort. The room is full of slaves, hard at work cleaning and maintaining the hall, which itself is a marvel to behold. In the center of the room, the slaver master sits menacingly on a black marble throne. Alright, let's talk to him. You approach the slave master. He greets you coldly with a gaze that feels almost penetrating. I ask him, what is your name? My name is not common knowledge, nor shall it be. Tell me about this place. This is the Slavers' Fort, the most ancient surviving home of the art of slavery. How long have you ruled? A long time, but not nearly long enough. What do you do here? I maintain order. Slavers can be trouble, egotistical, narcissistic, and violent. There have been wars in the past, but not now. Now we have order. Just as the slaves are beneath slavers, they are beneath me. I can offer to buy their whole operation. I don't have the money. Tell them to close the fort down. Can I hire some slaves? Buy them outside, not in here. This is my great hall, not a bloody market. I always feel dirty buying slaves in games like in FTL as well. Well, let's see what... I actually don't know what happens if you buy them, though. Let's see. Speak to a random slaver. We helped some bandits raid a village once. They took most of the loot, and we took the villagers. Made some slaves, I guess. Learn about the history. The Slavers' Fort was formed centuries ago by many rival slaver dens that operated across the realm, but mainly the east. Following a war between many of the slaver groups, a pact was signed whereby a council of masters from each clan and den would sit, and thus the war ended. The council chose the north to settle in as it was easier to defend and would attract less trouble than anywhere else. Over time, the council... I get a little annoyed, by the way. They kind of tend to overuse commas for punctuation rather than like just starting a new sentence. It's just the grammar geek in me. Over time, the council grew smaller until just one man held charge, the slave master. The fort is the hub of slavery across the realm and caters to many. Ask about the garrison here. You ask about the garrison of the fort. The fort's general humors you. We have 1,000 slaves, 500 slave soldiers, 800 slaver soldiers, 200 slavers, 10 slaver lords. I know one time I conquered this place. I just sent a whole bunch of troops in. I was like, get out of here. But I think I cannot overwhelm them right now. All right, I'm going to watch a slave brawl. Again, I kind of feel dirty doing that, but let's just see what happens. The slave master called in 2 slaves and orders them to fight. The court crowds around, and the 2 slaves spend no time waiting before charging into each other violently. So we have Beckraft the slave with 64 HP versus Dylan the decrepit with 118. And they're just punching each other. We have a nice drawing of their red fists. This guy misses. Dylan misses. Dylan lands a bone-shattering punch. Dylan barely touches the opponent with a wide swing. Dylan lands a punch. Dylan lands a bone-shattering punch. What about the other guy? Is he fighting back? No, Dylan just wailed on the other guy. Winner of the fight is Dylan the Decrepit. Okay, that was interesting. So I wonder if the slave soldiers are cheaper. I know I have to pay my men every turn. So maybe the slaves you don't have to pay every turn if you buy them. View the punishment wall. The punishment wall is where disobedient slaves are taken and chained here. They are left to rot until nothing but bones remain as a warning to the other slaves. This reminds me of in that show, You Can't Do That in Television. You can't do that on television where they would have the dungeon. People were chained just like that and they were chatting. All right. I guess I'm out of here. I don't know. I'll check another area. Let's check the eastern grasslands. I found the eastern trade post. Eric said I absolutely loved that show. Yeah, it was pretty funny. You can't do that on television. It was very edgy for kids at the time. You come upon a small trading post settled on a dune. This is known locally as the Eastern Trading Post. You enter and are greeted warmly. You can speak with the master, attack them, trade. Let's speak first. The trade post master, Malik, comes to greet you. Who are you? Malik, head trader here. What do you do here? Make sure the men are happy. Make sure passing caravans are doing their jobs. What do you trade? Anything we can, really. Whatever is currently in demand. We send caravans out of Farad to buy goods and then bring them back into Farad to sell them, sometimes the other way around. Tell me about Farad Desert. Not a great place for trade, but we do have somewhat of a monopoly on caravanning through here, so I can't complain. Where are you from? From the village of Rim, my lord. I am local to these parts. That's why I've been able to carve out a living here. How much money is trade with you worth to me? The deal would stand to make you somewhere in the range of 100 or so gold per year, maybe a little more if you have better roads or a bigger trade post to allow for better trade capacity. We don't claim to be able to make anyone rich, but every little bit helps, right, my lord? Sure, so we can trade with them. The trade post master bows and says, "Good, I agree to the trade. Let us both become moderately more wealthy because of this deal. You now have a trade route with the Eastern Trade Post. So now I get a little bit of income per turn. I guess he said 100 gold just for doing that. And that's pretty much all my exploration, unless I want to do something at the slave place. I'll leave it alone. Alright, how are my troop levels and stuff? You can upgrade. So, for example, with somebody's upgrades, if I pay for this one, small market favor 500 gold, unit prices 10% more likely to drop each year. That's pretty good, I guess. Seems like a one-time investment that could pay off anytime from now on. And this one, military recruitment science 500, more hireable recruits each turn. I guess that's useful if you really need to hire a lot of them. Nobility post, 1 in 20 chance of recruiting a knight each turn. I mean, that sounds pretty good and cheap. Get somebody's low-level upgrades. Small market favor. Okay. And you can get these to extra levels. Now the small market favor becomes a market favor. 20% more likely if I spend 2k on that upgrade. Should I hire units? Not really sure what I need at the moment, though. That's the thing. Look at hiring knights. 331 per knight. There's 20 available. Look at the hireable units. Peasants. How many peasants do I have? I don't know. Again, I'm kind of not really having a feel of what I want to have. Troop wages. I think you can increase their morale by paying them more or something like that. They increase their loyalty. Higher wages increase your men's loyalty and can draw in more to fight for you. Okay. I'll just hire a little bit more just for the heck of it. Let's get some peasants. It's 431 available. I will get they're 16 gold each. Not gonna get a huge number. Let's get 50. Currently have 1,500 in my ranks. I don't know. Do I really? Let's get 10 for the heck of it. Just to do something. Soldiers are obviously going to cost more. And how many do I have? I have 501 in my ranks. Here, have another one. I think you need to start to see like how many you're losing in battle and things like that before you can really have a feel for how many you want to hire. Mercenary companies, that's another option. You survey a list of all active mercenary groups in the realm. If you wish to hire one, select them and view their info and stats before you decide. The Violet Bannered Mercenary Company. Fierce Razors. Honorable Nocturnal Green Cloaks. Yonder Hounds, they're goblins. Mercenary Company of Wiglin, not Chief Wiggin or Ralph Wiggin. So these are kind of expensive. You can see that they have a 4-digit upfront costs, which I could afford, given what I'm at. But then it has the maintenance of each year. You have to spend a pretty penny. Manage staff and champion. That's a good thing to do if I recall. So we have Old Kroll as our head diplomat, spy master. We don't have court jester. We don't have high general. We have Goran Pikener. Steward. We don't have first champion. Omer the friend. Let's see if we can get another champion, perhaps. Am I doing it wrong? Did I lock up the game? No. Okay. Hire a champion. Here are some options. It's a lot of them. It essentially tells you their cost and their strength and their name. I like this guy's name. Dumble Dupe the Rebellious One. And you can see they're kind of color coded. I think that means how good they are, essentially. Yeah, you can look at this guy's strength is 67. He's red. This was a dark red 44, so I guess ABT sucks. And this guy is green. He has 151 strength. This might be figuring in like how much of a bargain they are too. I'm not really sure though. Oh, look at that. They're actually all 10 times the strength in their cost. And oh, this guy's white. He's the strongest one. 204. All right. So I was telling you their relative strengths, basically. I mean, I could afford the best one without taking a huge hit to my coffers. You can also invite or scout for a new set of champions, or anoint one of your existing knights to the position of a champion. Why don't we hire someone kind of mid-grade-ish, I guess? How about Gokok the Flatfoot Tree Guard? He's actually pretty high-end-ish. High end of the middle. Number 8, he's legless, says Rob Bob. Nash the Legless Swamp Guard. Sure, let's do it. You pay the gold and Nash the Legless Swamp Guard is hired and joins your court as the second champion of Earth. Stu is here and says, hire Sir Stu the Gaseous. No one will want to be in close quarters with you, Stu. Stu the Gaseous. Welcome, Stu, by the way. Just playing some WARSIM, which I've played about twice on this stream before. Just poking around and trying to remember what the heck I'm doing. I can get a Spy Master, a Court Jester. Stu can easily kill bad guys with his gas. That's a good point. Let's see. 3 potential Spy Masters are sent to your court. You may speak to each of them to learn of their skills and talents. Eric says that he costs an arm and a leg. Well, at least a leg. Ah ha ha ha. Rule the Cobalt. I am highly regarded by kings and queens of the realm for my work. I will serve you, you will pay. And again, I feel like this game is always trying to extend these messages to the right. And I could probably keep, I could keep scrolling my screen and adjusting anytime a message goes too wide, but it's kind of silly that I have to do that. Probably going to do it anyway. Here we go. Bear with me 1 second. All right, I just have to keep doing this forever. But I lost the left edge somehow. Okay. Bear with me again. Yeah, it sucks that it works like that. It should line wrap, right? Jesus. Gonna make my screen small if I do that. I don't know about this. Well, it's not like you really need to look at anything in this. I mean, it's just text. And it's still readable, right? All right. Okay, I don't know. We have Aaron Law of the Seas 3. The third, I guess. One wants 55 gold per year. Not really sure how the spies work. Maybe I'll get one of these. I'll get the cheaper one. And you can see their cost is proportionate to their skill level. I'll just go with the cheap one, the bargain basement spy for now. Surely nothing could go wrong with a bargain basement spy. Kingdom upgrades. Military buildings, guild and other buildings, productivity buildings, arena buildings, recruitment, income, other. How about income buildings? I could use more income. Tribute collection boxes. Okay. 5% tribute from tributary locations. I don't think I have any yet. The other ones are in red. I don't know why they're red. I guess because I can't afford them, actually. I'll get this one anyway for later. Tribute. Recruitment, arena, productivity. Let's try that one. You can get more income from harvest by buying sturdy scythes and pitchforks. Fortunately, that's 5K, and I only got 9.4K. Might be worth it, though. I don't know. I just cost your nose from your gaseousness. Emissary hut. Military buildings. Militia old weapons stash. It gives them +10 battle score per unit. That's pretty cool. This is a good one to have. Guard genital protection plates. 1K. Your guards can't get hit in the balls. Alright. I'm gonna get militia old weapons stash. And gotta get the ball plates. Look at that ASCII truck. This is so stupid. I just spent like 10% of my starting money on that just because it was funny. Arena buildings. You know, I'm gonna bet in the arena again and try to make more money. I gotta recoup my losses buying ball protection. Or we could go to the throne room again. Let's see what happens there. Send in the next visitor. In the throne room, you are visited by a Western woodsman who has brought you a gold dragon ring with emeralds for eyes, which he won in an arm wrestle with a wizard. Okay. Yeah, I want money to recoup my losses. And, here, I just won this in an arm wrestle with a wizard. Okay. It's worth 290. Nice. All right, let's go to the local fight pit again. And I'm going to bet 1,500. What did I bet last? 1,000. 1,000 again. Oh, it had no entry fee paid. Why was that? I missed it. Oh, well. Okay. We can bet on the Sunset Troglodyte Cave Lord or an agitated peasant. Come on, the first one sounds badass. Agitated peasant. I don't know. Last time I won again, by betting against the peasant, even though he was a champion of his village. Natsume Hack says, agitated peasant got this. Welcome, Natsume Hack. I'm going for the Sunset Troglodyte Cave Lord. I could be wrong. We'll see. Rob Bob says, I don't know, guys. My experience with this game is that you go with the more badass sounding guy, but sometimes you're wrong. And Stu says, unless this is Peasant's Quest, I would bet on the Cave Lord. I'll go on the Cave Lord. I'm going to bet. I'm going to go crazy even. I'm going to go 2,000. It's going to hurt if I'm wrong. The gates slide open and the two warriors emerge and share a long stare. For a moment, neither will move. The tension fills the air and then they charge forth. The battle begins. All right, already at the bat, the Cave Lord gets a very sharp and well-placed strike on agitated peasant. Yeah. Cave Lord stabs the peasant in the chest.
Overkill!
Overkill! Get over here! Cracks him in the head with force, and he's dead. We win 3,000 gold. Now I'm trying to remember. When I played this game in the past, there was some point at which the warriors, it was very ambiguous, like who would be stronger. And I don't remember if that's when I tried a higher difficulty level of the whole game, or after just playing the same game for enough turns did it like kind of scale the difficulty. I don't remember which it was, but I'm starting to remember now that, like, when you see an obvious sounding, one of them sounds more obviously better than the other, you just bet on them and you win most of the time. But sometimes it's not obvious. All right, let's do it again. Natsume Hack says, I do kind of want to know what kind of complaint the peasant had about. Sorry, my text gets cut off here with the stupid heart that YouTube always draws now. Something about the Trog Lord to want to fight him. Yeah. That was he was very agitated with the other guy. Troglodyte Lord. All right. Stu said he had no complaint. He was agitated because he knew he was about to die. I'm going to do another bet. And actually, one thing that's nice is you get to see the combatants before you choose how much money you're spending. Servant, Bandit, Warlord, or a Mouthless Lake Kobold Warrior. The thing is, I don't know how strong these Mouthless Lake Kobolds are. This is one of the races that were randomly generated for this game. A Mouthless Lake Kobold. Bandit Warlord sounds pretty strong, but he's a Servant Bandit Warlord. That means he's like a lesser one. So I am kind of stumped on this one. There's no obvious option. And Stu said I'd bet a number 1, but a small amount. Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to bet a small amount because I'm not really sure. What do you guys think? Who should I bet on? And Sume says, so is the Bandit Warlord a servant or is the servant of a Bandit Warlord? I think it is a servant. Eric Johnson says number 1. Okay, we got 2 votes for number 1, so I think that's good enough. Go with number 1, and I'm not going to overdo it this time because it's kind of ambiguous. I'll just bet 100. Servant Bandit Warlord versus Mouthless Lake Kobold Warrior. I have no mouth and I must scream. Here we go. Off the bat. Mouthless Lake Kobold Warrior strikes Servant Bandit Warlord twice as hard as possible. Kobold Warrior shouts, I'll enjoy watching you die. Oof, Kobold Warrior's dead. Servant Bandit Warlord blocks and hits Mouthless Lake Kobold Warrior. It's a critical hit. Good point. That's who my hack. How did it shout? And Stu said it too. He's effing mouthless. He's like, oh god. Well, we won some money. Not a lot, but we won some money. That's who says Bandit Warlord hit him so hard he gained a new mouth. They're from the Mouthless Lake. Exactly, Ramba. All right. Oh, you mean like a lake with no mouth? All right, I'll do another one. The Grimwood Slave of Gods, or the Death Eater Warrior Person. Grimwood Slave of Gods. Just seeing of gods is kind of like, whoa. But being a slave of gods doesn't necessarily mean much. I think I'm leaning towards the Death Eater Warrior Person. Sounds like a battle you see at the end of an RPG, not arena. Stu says Death Eater sounds pretty badass unless it's Lucius Malfoy. I'm gonna go with the Death Eater. I'll be a little bit more brave in my betting, but not too brave. I'll go with 500. Rob Bob says 2 because he's a warrior as opposed to a slave. That's a fair assessment. Here we go. All right, warrior person. Let's just call them by the names Death Eater and Grimwood. Death Eater swings for Grimwood, but misses by mere inches. Death Eater swings and stabs Grimwood hard in the body. Death Eater swings for Grimwood, but slightly misses. Death Eater swings again and slightly misses. Death Eater and Grimwood get caught in a parry that quickly breaks. Death Eater gets a huge hit on Grimwood. Ooh, look at that hit. Death Eater swings and but... Oh, there's an error there. Swings but misses. Death Eater gets a huge hit. He's down to 4, and Death Eater is not even hurt. Death Eater kills him. Yeah, the other guy didn't fight back. Stu said, I guess Grimwood is standing there. He's like, do it. He's like, doesn't even put up a fight. Yeah. All right. He wins 750 gold. Hey, I can make a lot of money this way. Shall we do one more and then move on? I kind of like doing this. This is like fun, just betting like this. Bet on a fight. Wait a minute. Red Bandit versus Blue Bandit. That's a hard one. That's 50-50. Red versus Blue. Natsume says it's fun seeing just the wacky names. Yeah, for sure. Team Fortress 2. All right, Red versus Blue. I'm going to go... Stu says Charmander versus Bulbasaur. I'm going to go with Red Bandit. Better red than dead, says Natsume. Okay. It spelled blue wrong, though, says Rob Bob. What? They spelled blue wrong? Oh, from Team Fortress 2. Got it. Okay. Blue Bandit. Yeah, I'm betting on the right horse so far. Red Bandit gets a pair of well-placed strikes on Blue Bandit. Oh, but Blue Bandit gets a pair of well-placed strikes on Red Bandit. Red Bandit swings and lightly hits Blue Bandit. Red Bandit kicks Blue Bandit back. Red Bandit and Blue Bandits get caught in a parry that quickly breaks. Blue Bandit cracks Red Bandit on the head with force. Uh-oh. The crowd cheering for Red Bandit. The crowd cheers for Red Bandit and chanting, "Fight better and win." Fight better and win. Fight better and win. Blue Bandit shouts, "Your fighting is as pathetic as your face." Oh, snap. Red Bandit misses a swing and slips. Whoops. Oh, no, that's not good. Red Bandit throws his blade high in the air and then catches it for the crowd. Aha. Red Bandit gets a huge and fast hit on Blue Bandit. Blue Bandit is dead. And Stu says, I think it's better dead than red. Yeah, traditionally. All right, another successful bet, even if I was not very courageous in my quantity of betting. All right. Let's move on from the pit, although that's probably the most fun part. Let's check the laws of the land. Taxes and subsidies. Remove the gambling tax. Yeah. No, wait. I need income from taxes though, so I don't want to get too crazy. End banking tax. Higher interest rate. End land tax. Large popularity boost. Subsidized arena. Higher betting max, but it costs 1K per year. But if I can have a higher betting max, then maybe I could make up more than the 1K per year. Subsidized militia. All right, I don't want to fiddle with that stuff right now, unfortunately. Social policies, let's check that out. Alms for the poor. Hire the love cult to increase public order. All right, I'm going to hire the love cult. I don't know what that is. Scribe notes down your demands on a scroll and heads off to action them. You have paid and hired the love cult from Songwood to help your people. Okay, no alms for the poor because I spent all my money on the love cult. Recruitment and training. Declare free enlistment. Gain some soldiers each turn. Forceful enlistment. Declare no enlistment. Ban local militia. Cease peasant training. These are too wild to play with. Goblin policies. What did Natsume Hack say? He said, do you think Blue Bandit lives in a blue house and everything he does is blue? Goblin Scourge. Ban goblin slavery. Begin the goblin celebration. Yeah, so this game lets you kind of really treat the goblins like garbage or try to treat them less like garbage. They're kind of slaves by default. Again, I'm afraid to play with anything right now because I haven't played the game in a long time. Crime policies. Your scribe pulls out the scroll of crime and prison policies. Yeah, we looked at this before. I don't know. Why don't we? Maybe we should just end the turn and we can get into battle and all that fun stuff. Attack other regions, other whatever they're called, factions. Well, let's check celebrations real quick. Declare a new celebration. Oh, it looks like I did it. I was just curious, but I think I've done it. What is your new celebration? The feast of the celebration of the institution of crotch guards for the Guards? No. Feast of the Crotch Guards. It'll be every just once this year. What will happen during the celebration? Natsuma says Feast of the Death Eater when and also he said that 3 goblin options were wildly different in tone. Yeah, for sure. Parades, sacrifices, free all slaves and prisoners, gifts and gold, large royal ceremony, people getting drunk, burning celebratory file. I think we go with people getting drunk. Oh, 3 things can happen. Okay, how about parades, people getting drunk, and burning celebratory fires? What could get wrong with the combination of people getting drunk and burning fires? Your scribe pulls out the scroll of celebration and prepares to make amendments to it. All right. Others. Bandit Scourge. Yeah, why don't we do that? Offer a 5 gold reward for bandit. Oh, that could be costly. I don't know. You can actually forgive the outlaws. Allow outlaws back into society. Longer harvest hours. Peasants work hard and issues may arise. Force everyone to wear hats. Declare a different number for our current year. Oh yeah, what could go wrong with that? Rename the kingdom. Change your noble title. Change your royal title. Change your personal Mr. Miss etc. title. I'm gonna go with Bandit Scourge. Even if it might be expensive, we'll see what happens. The scribe notes down your demands on a scroll and heads off to action them. You have declared a Bandit Scourge. Scrolls and notices are spread around the land, stating a 5 gold reward to any bandits captured and brought to your guards, who are well protected now in the crotchal area. All right. Yeah, let's oh, Rob Bob says 4, but I think I'm a few menus past what he was suggesting. Let's finish the throne room, actually. We want to do that before we end the year. You're visited by a drunk man who says, I wish to gaze upon the mighty person who created the feast of the crotch guards. Sure, it was me. I created it. The drunk smiles and says, I imagined you to be taller, before drunkenly stumbling off. Next visitor. You are visited by a guildsman who steps forward and says, my lord, I have something important to tell you. He takes a moment and says, your mother was an ogre, before running to the door laughing. All right. This is you, Arturo. I'm letting you call the shot. I'm going to do whatever you say, Arturo. I can say, guards, arrest them. Guards, kill them or let them run. I wouldn't let them run. I would probably just arrest them. But I'm going to let Arturo call the shot here, if he's still there. But Stu says I would kill them. Oh, okay. I don't know if he's still watching, though. But I'll give Arturo another, like, 10 seconds. And otherwise, I'll go with Stu's suggestion to kill them. Do 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 do. All right, Rob Ops is number 1. I'm gonna let Stu call it. We're gonna kill him. Yeah, that often happens when you're too cruel. As your public opinion goes down, unfortunately. Guildsman hears your order and bows his head, allowing a guard to get a clean cut, beheading him. Next visitor are visited by a very drunk man who says, I've come to join your army for making Feast of the Crotch Guards a thing. Hick. Have the drunk removed from the court. Okay. He stumbles out and laughs. I think I made everybody drunk with my crotch guard feast. You're visited by an old man. He asks if you could spare some coins as his stockpile of grains has rotted and he has no food. Yeah, I'll give him... Now, this could actually be good because you can get your public opinion up. But 11 might not do it. I might need to give 110 for that to happen. I'm gonna try 110. Yeah, look at that. My public opinion's back up, so I cancel out my cruelness. Stu says if you give 110, there's gonna be a long line. Buthamar the Snotty. Messenger, you are visited by a sacred Terramancer from honored Malachate, carrying the message that Malach Mathon the goat sends his best wishes during the Feast of the Crotch Guard celebration. You know what? The messages are so rarely going off to the right. I think I am going to just make this bigger. And on the rare occasion that it goes off to the edge of the right, I'll just, you know, I'll read to you what it says, or I could temporarily slide it back like this. I think it's probably better to have it bigger. All right. Okay, thanks for stopping by, Natsume. Nice to meet you, by the way. Anyway, says his best wishes. All right, I will thank him then. The sacred Terramaster from Honored Malachite leaves happy. Your relation with the Honored Malachite has improved a little. +1 relation with Honored Malachite. A drunk man enters your court sobbing, "My liege, it appears old Lady Ale has gotten the better of me. I've soiled myself. Could you spare a change of clothes?" Jeez. Yeah, it's my fault for getting everybody drunk. Alright, I have the drunk removed. You're visited by a sacred Terramaster from the Honored Malachite again, carrying the message that the Malik Mathon, the goat, sends his best wishes, excuse me, by the way, wishes during the Feast of the Crotch Guard celebration. Alright, I'll thank him too. That time I didn't get an improvement to my relations. Eric Johnson says, "I pooped my pants, better tell the king." It's like the kindergarten student going to the teacher. I wet my pants, I'm sorry. Well, now you gotta go to the nurse. Stu says, "Quick call Biden." Yeah, it's like if I crapped my pants and I went over to the White House. Palantir Steelbeak is the messenger. You are visited by a Death Eater warrior person from Standing Directorate, carrying the message that Director Tethys, the Soulless Regent, wishes you to know that despite his disliking of celebration, he wishes yours go well. I don't know, it seems to go well when you thank them. Or nothing happens sometimes. You are visited by a doomed militant merman from Nalfurg. And by the way, our messenger is Vigo the Goblin Slayer, carrying the message that King Dane of the past is parading mice around the streets in recognition of the Feast of the Crotch Guard celebration. Tell him that you will step on the wall. Why would you parade mice around? It's gonna ruin my relations with this guy, probably, with this faction, but I'm gonna do it. Tell him I'm gonna step on them all. Yep, the Nalfurg like me a little less now. The doomed militant merman from Nalfurg leaves disappointed. Your relation with the Nalfurg have deteriorated a little. Could not try that. Drunk man who tries to talk. You know what? Some people like to talk bad about the king, but I think you're all right. All right, thank you. You're visited by an armed man. He says he will serve in your army for a fee of 27. That's a cheap soldier, sure. You order the gold to be paid and the recruitment is done. The armed man grins, his face more joyful than any you've seen, and then pulls a small trumpet from his belt and plays a short tune before charging out of your court ready to be armed. You are visited by a townsman who has brought you an enchanted green apple which he won in an arm wrestle with a wizard. Again? 65. I don't want it for 65. Okay, sorry for wasting your time. You are visited by a man who identifies himself as a traveling silver tongue and claims he can help you gain a higher public opinion with your people. Or a lower one if you wish. For a price, of course. Interesting. How do you increase public opinion? Yeah, why would you want a lower one? I agree, Stu. I go around fabricating great and unprovable tales of your glory and kindness, paying drunks and pauper children to join me in vouching for your greatness and spreading the word. It's foolproof, I assure you. That sounds like bull. I can tell stories about the time I arm wrestled a wizard. And how do you decrease public opinion? Probably the same thing, but he talks trash about it. I go around telling people of your misdeeds and evil, I'll tell them that you fart in the soup of orphans and bathe in the tears of widowed women. It's easy to fabricate infamy and foolproof, I assure you. It's interesting how it's still quite expensive to make your public opinion go down. Yeah, why would you want to do that? 10, have him executed, says Stu. No, that's to the dungeons with him. I'll put him in the dungeons. Rob Bob says he should pay you to decrease it. I'm putting him in the dungeons because he's not an honest man. He is trying to, you know, do some shady things here. The Silver Tongue shouts, I demand a trial by combat, and stares at you, waiting for your response. Accept or refuse. Stu says refuse. I kind of want to see what happens when you do it. So I'm going to hit accept just for that reason. A soldier is called forward to fight him. Look at this cool animation. It's not even an animation, a drawing. Here we go. Your soldier lands a light punch on the opponent. Silver Tongue lands a punch on the opponent. Silver Tongue lands a punch. Silver Tongue lands a hard punch. Oh, man. Silver Tongue lands a hard punch. Silver Tongue barely touches. Silver Tongue lands a light punch. Silver Tongue lands a punch. Silver Tongue lands a light punch. Silver Tongue lands a punch. Come on, soldier. Soldier barely touches. Soldier lands a hard punch. That's what I like to see. Soldier lands a bone-shattering punch. Yeah. Soldier lands a punch. Soldier lands a hard punch. Soldier lands a punch. Stu says, tell the soldier to use his sword, and that you want, and also you want your 24 gold back. Yeah, use your sword. Finish him. Soldier's gonna finish him now. Silver Tongue has 3 hit points left. The fighting is finally over. The winner of the fight is your soldier. The soldier is victorious, and by proxy, so are you. The man's body is removed from the court. Send in the next visitor. You are visited by a southern bard who wants to join your army because he wants to impress a girl from his village. Sure. Yeah! Free peasant. Yeah! The southern bard beats his chest for a moment and then lets out a war cry before jogging out to collect his equipment. Eric says the soldier plays a tune on his trumpet and leaves. You're visited by a traveling bard. He asks to play a song for you on his elven lute. I'm not the worst musician. I shall play you a song. What's your origins? I am a proud member of the Musicians Guild, a source of great joy for all is the guild. What's your name? The bard reveals his name to be Gundar. Ask his name again. The bard says his name is still Gundar and hasn't changed since you last asked. You listen to the song. The bard nods and prepares to play for you. +1 relation to the Musicians Guild. Bow. Was he naked for a moment? What was that frame? Now there is this thing where the game will play these songs. Like you heard like one note of it, and it goes on for like way too long normally, and it's just noise. And I think I disabled that at some point. There was an option to disable it, so I think that's why I just kind of skipped. All right, so I can say that was a great performance. That was such a great performance. You pay him money, and this is all about if you care about your relations with the music guild or whatever. You can like really suck up to them or not. That was so bad you have disgraced your ancestors. That was acceptable. Remove him from the court. Let him leave to the dungeons with him. I'll say that was acceptable. Yeah, I just ruining my relations. The bard seems a slight bit offended by your lack of response. Gundar, the traveling bard, asked to play a song. Him again? Do the same thing again? He doesn't want to play anymore and refuses your request. Okay, let him leave. You were visited by a drunk man who has an obnoxiously large cup made of wood and filled with mead. He says he will drink the entire cup to your honor. Sure, chug, 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 chug. The drunk effortlessly drinks the entire cup to the applause of the whole court. 4 more to go.
And the orc chased me up the stairs, so I punched him in the face.
You're visited by you were visited by a drunk man who stumbles into your throne room and begins singing, but he's very drunk and his singing is terrible. Seems to be enjoying himself though. Wonderful singing. You can leave now. The drunk smiles and nods and stumbles away. You're visited by a very drunk man. What did I do here with this drunk? It's my fault. Everybody's drunk because I made the crotch guard celebration a drinking thing. You're visited by a very drunk man who says, I've come to join your army for making the Feast of the Crotch Guards a thing. Hick. Let's see what happens if I accept him. You just get a present. Okay. Drunk smiles and says, I'm going to regret this when I'm sober tomorrow, aren't I? Okay, 2 more to go. And there's so many people you have to do this for. That's why they recommend, or they have the option to buy a steward, hire a steward. You're visited by a member of the Earth militia. He says he has served as a militia fighter in his rags. But now it is time for him to serve as a soldier of the Earth army. Sure, join. I lost a militiaman, but gained a soldier. There's one lone visitor waiting. You're visited. Oh, this guy again. Sure. Yeah, it's the guy with the large wooden mug made of meat. I'm gonna say, have the drunk removed this time. Okay. Should I upgrade the throne room? What can I do there? Oh yeah, I can build a trap door to drop people through it. Maybe next year I'll do that. If there is a next year. All right, let's do let's wrap it up maybe. Should I get a steward? I don't know. Nah, I'll just manually do the throne room for now. Eventually I'll get tired of it. Trying to think, do I want to deposit all my money in the bank? Stu says this game looks totally awesome. It is awesome in a way. I think it is cool. It's a lot of the stuff is like just like kind of for the flavor of it and doesn't have a significant impact on the game. Like a lot of those throne room situations, for example. But it's fun to do anyway. All right, I'm gonna deposit. I think that's what I want to do before the end of the year. You can raid the bank. Let's inspect the bank. The Royal Bank still stands strong. It holds 300 guards and gains many clients and customers. View your vault. Your vault contains an overflowing chest with several large piles of gold surrounding it, totaling 8,337 gold in value. Alright, we're gonna do it. We're gonna end the year, which means battle. As you prepare to move on, your head diplomat approaches you. My king, are you sure you wish to move on? There isn't anything left to deal with that I can tell, but you may wish to wait. Wait, what? Why would he say that? Let me check something. Yeah, just take me back here. It might just be saying I should finish the local fight pits, because he pretty much just... It's pretty much a winning thing to do that repeatedly, unless you bet stupidly. Alright, I'm going to finish that. Oh, I don't have the gold because I put it in the bank though. Alright, let's just get 2,000 or so. And use that for betting. Go to the fight pit. Bet on a fight, please. Mouseless Lake Kobold Chief or just Goblin? I guess being a chief gives him an edge over a generic Goblin. I don't know how a basic Mouseless Lake Kobold fares against a Goblin, but a chief should be a bonus. This game needs a physical release, says too. Interesting. You know, I'll mention that to the dude. I've chatted with him on Reddit a few times. The author of this game. All right, we're gonna go with it, Chief. Even though I'm not really sure, I'm gonna go for a big bet. You know what? My max bet is 1,300. I wonder if that's because the arena has only that much, or is that just the max bet in general? The last Kobold was pretty weak, said Rob. Yeah, but this is a Chief, right? What was the modifier for the last one? I don't remember. It was like in other words, he was what kind of Mouseless Kobold? Well, maybe I shouldn't go too nuts. I'll go with 300. right, we got the goblin versus kobold's got like 3 times the hit points. Minus 20 for goblin. Minus, yeah, I should have bet more. Okay. Goblin's just getting wailed on. The goblin got a decent hit right there. A sharp strike. Mouthless Lake Kobold Chief fakes a swing to scare Goblin and then laughs. And a very sharp strike against the Goblin finishes him. Goblin has given his life in pursuit of glory. The crowd cheers and shouts for Mouthless Lake Kobold Chief as he leads victorious. You win $4.50 for your bet. Alright. Let's keep at it. Doomed Militant Merman. What does doomed mean here? Is he doomed in this battle? Stu asks what's the subtitle of this game? Realm of Ashola. Yeah, that's right. Excuse me. Aslona, actually. Aslona. I'm gonna go with the merman, even though he's doomed. Some of these adjectives are pretty puzzling. Like, what does it even mean? And Eric says a merman on land. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, look at that. I think this is the limit that the arena has, because last time it said 1,300. And I won. Wait, what? Did I win 300 or did I bet 300? In any case, it's going down. It was 1,300 last time. 500. Alright, Doomed Militant Merman kicks Goblin hard, and the Goblin only has 1 hit point already.
Overkill!
He is murdered. Maybe it's Ethel Merman. Yeah, that's a good place, Stu. And Stu also says Merman from Heatman was on land. And Eric says maybe this merman has the fish part on top and the human part on the bottom. But are they able to breathe if they have the fish part on the top? Breathe there. Okay. Cruel Fire Breath or Sacred Terramancer. That's random obscure fictional thing versus random obscure fictional thing. I'll go with Cruel Fire Breath. Max 500. Let's do it. Depends who goes first, says Jim. Arturo said Terramaster. Too late for me because he says Earth is greater than fire. Okay. Cruel is getting beat up already. Or maybe we're right, Arturo. I think I'm losing this one, yeah. Okay, at least they got 1 hit on the Terramaster. But the crowd cheer and shout for Cruel Fire Breath. Come on, Cruel Fire Breath. Alright, he's getting some hits in. They're just not too strong, though. Alright, that's a solid hit. But just, how many does he have to get? And he's only got 10, so he probably got to get like 5 more hits and not get hit at all himself. Cruel Fire Breath stops for a moment and nods at Sacred Terramaster. And Rob Bob says you can't burn rocks. I guess that's a good point. And Stu says Fire Breath should have just breathed fire on the Terramaster. And the Terramaster should be throwing rocks. Yeah. I actually suggested that to the developer. I was saying you could have more race-specific descriptions of attacks. For example, they have some fearsome demons that kill massive amounts of people with their high strength value, but might not say something like they unleash fires from hell or something like that. So he liked that idea, but he hasn't implemented that yet. I imagine with all these crazy combos, it could be difficult, but you could at least have certain maybe groupings of the kinds of attacks that different races do. Okay, he's putting up quite a fight, the Cruel Fire Breath, but he lost it because Sacred Terramaster effortlessly cuts off Cruel Fire Breath's arm and leaves him squealing. Ouch. Alright, so I lost money there. That's okay, though. We're still winning way more often than not. And now we have an easy choice. Peasant versus Bandit Warlord. Bandit Warlord, bet 1,000. Maybe Peasant will surprise me. Thanks for the like, whoever just liked the stream. Peasants getting murdered. The crowd cheer for Bandit Warlord. Kicks him over. Swings and a miss and slips. Peasant swings but misses by mere inches. And Bandit Warlord stabs Peasant in the heart, sending blood spurts everywhere. The crowd watches in horror and shock as Peasant collapses and bleeds to death. Bandit Warlord wins. You win 1,500 gold from your bet. The arena is not accepting bets at the moment because I single-handedly took all their money. Okay. So, now I will deposit my money. 4 is deposited. All that's good. Let's see. Will that guy say, hey, there might be things to do again? Yeah, why is he... You know, this might just be a normal prompt. I just don't remember it being a thing before. Actually, there was one thing I wanted to check that I forgot about. I think it's in your throne room. You can like meet all your advisors or something like that and see what they have to say. Call a meeting of the Council of Earth. So I'll just do that one more thing. Point of the money in the bank is you gain interest the next turn. I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that, but I do get the feeling that it tells you because it tells you the strength of the bank and the fact that there are 300 guards. I think it might be possible for another faction to actually invade your bank and then probably take the money. So it's possible that the bank is less safe than just holding it yourself. I don't know. Not really sure though. Just the game has so much detail and possibilities that I think that could be a thing. You call a meeting of the Council of Earth. Your head diplomat, Old Kroll, enters the room and fumbles into the seat. Your spymaster, Aaron Law of the Seas III, enters the room and waves to you before taking a seat at the table. Your High General, Goran Pikener, enters the room and bows to you before taking a seat at the council table. Eric says, I thought this was a game from the 80s. Surprised to see it was released last year. Oh, yeah, it's from, I think it's from 2017, but it was in beta for a long time, and it maybe in the last year or so it actually had a full release. But yeah, this is like just one dude's crazy passion project, and he just kind of adds to it. He thinks of new, you know, little rabbit hole to add to the game that you can dig into, even if they're not really substantial, you know, like not important to winning the game or to affect your stats or anything. He just like writes stories and adds characters and random options and things. I just like the idea that this guy is so into it. And he describes his programming practices, and they're not good. But well, in the sense that he said he had something like a 100,000 line single file of source code because he didn't know any better when he was like a newbie to programming. But I think that's great that even if as a newbie to programming, he can kind of make a really cool passion project and hopefully make some money from it too. Because this is on Steam, by the way. Anyway, this is the first meeting you and your council have held. Meetings are a tool for you to discuss various topics with your staff. There are 5 seats on the council. Sorry, what's that? Arturo says, is this WARSIM the realm of Aslona? Yes, it is. Maybe I should make this logo a little bigger so people can read it. Here you go. Actually, what I could do is just, we don't need this text to be gigantic. We could do that. And put this up here. Just because it's come up a lot. Make it readable. All right. Are you guys all going to buy this game now or something? Yeah, it looks pretty cool having the title on the top. Anyway, there are 5 seats on the council that will be occupied if you have the corresponding staff. Yeah, I guess I just have the 3 guys. The seats are High General, Spymaster, Jester, Diplomat, and Steward. Each of these staff members will advise you as best they can on the issues discussed. If you wish to know more about a certain topic, you may ask the question again, as each staff member could have many different things to say about any given topic. Ask a question about finances and harvest. I want a bigger harvest. More hands in the field is surely the way to go. It's a different character saying different things. High General says, honestly, slaves are the cheapest source of good workers if you can get them. Depends on where you stand morally, of course. Spymaster dude says, you can always disarm any soldiers you have and have them instead work the field as peasants. Okay. Where can I find some slaves? To actually I found the slaver den. I always feel like, even though I know it's just a game, I'm always like, I always feel dirty about like, buying slaves in any game. But it might be good to do. And pretend, you know, they're all deserving of their fate for some reason. And Arturo says if it's someone's passion project, it might be worth it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely, it's one guy. As far as I know, he does every single thing in this game. Even like the crazy sounds and stuff. Could be wrong on that, but I know it's at least mostly one developer, and, you know, he just kind of, this is his thing. He just kind of adds to this game, and he chats with people on Reddit and stuff about it. He's just really into it, and, you know, I don't know what he charges these days. It's probably not more than $10, if even that. And if you want, you can always wait till the Steam sale even. Oh yeah, the head diplomat Old Crow said there was a slaver's den in the black market when I last visited. I haven't found the black market yet. It's one of those other locations you can find. $6 in Steam, says Eric Johnson. Yeah, it's like, you know, less than a lunch these days. I think you should play to take the Slaver's Fort, a worthwhile location to fight for. I could take over the Slaver's Fort. I found it. I know of a ship that occasionally finds itself in the harbor. One thing that does annoy me, I've kind of mentioned before, is a lot of spelling and grammar errors. Like this one's a spelling error. Sometimes they do the thing where they string multiple sentences and just put a comma in between them. And me being a little bit of a grammar nerd, it kind of annoys me a bit, but it's not substantial really. I actually thought of volunteering. Hey, let me clean up all the grammar in your game and put a little credit. Give me a little credit that says grammar nerd Mark W. And I won't ask for any money. Anyway, I don't know. I forgot these advisors just kind of give you very general tips, nothing like specific. I want more trade, they'll say. Well, this guy says diplomacy, not something I usually consider. This spy master says speak to other kingdoms. They should trade with you if they like you, or at least don't dislike you. Trade with the minor goblin tribes. It may seem inconsequential, but the income adds up. Actually, I wonder if I should try to do that. Trade with the goblin dudes. Are there any other ways to reduce expenditures? Get rid of troops from the army if they have pay. Well, your knights cost you a total of 45 gold per year, but so if that's too much, maybe consider getting rid of them. Spy master says I wouldn't know. Let's go back. Ask a question from the wider realm. We know of the north. The north is a harsh place for some, but many born fighters come from there. It would be wise to absorb the strength of the north for battles and wars to come. Somewhere in the north I have heard there is a guild of assassins. Logically, I think they would be in the black market. But the lair they had there is a burned ruin. Many in the north are hostile regardless of who you are. Not much in the way of diplomacy with them a lot. Alright, I think I'm going to move on. I don't want to dwell on all this generic chat that they give. But I'm kind of curious about asking something else. Let me check that out real quick. I want more lands. I want to be more liked. What do you know of the black market? Are there any points of interest in this realm? North is filled with places. I used to love going to the brawl pits when I was young. There are many places of interest. You must seek them. Darkdale is a must-see. I think I found that before. I once went to a party there in the area called the Folk District. By the Demon Gate, we drank a lot of ale. What do you know about the cod pieces I gave to the men, says Stu? Alright, now let's get out of here. Let's just end the year that I keep saying I'm going to do. I'm going to actually do it now. Ending the year. Then we can attack some baddies. Still wish to move on. Alright. Military orders time. That's pretty loud. The drums of war are pretty loud. Alright, let's see what we're doing here. I probably should have... I was gonna say maybe taking notes about their strengths and stuff. I don't know if the diplomacy screen even gave me much info about their strengths. Well, I'm at war with the top 4 already. Maybe I'll focus on one of them. And I've kind of put a bounty on bandits' heads, so maybe I should kind of make that my thing to really hate the bandits or something. So I could attack the bandit horde. General Goran Pikener says, I shall enjoy depriving those bandits of a chance to pillage our people. How shall we attack them? This is basically saying, what scale do you want? skirmish, raid, invade. It's basically risk and reward. If you go with a full invasion, you can lose the most people, but get the most. You can have the chance to capture the most lands. But Arturo says attack the rebels. How dare they rebel? Okay, that's one option. I can always do both. Why not both? Let's start with these guys though. I'll go with raid. Actually, let's go. I need more information. Can you give me more information? They have a great deal of territory behind them. This is why you want to have a spy master, I guess. They can give you this kind of information. They have a great deal of territory, 25 lands that we would need to capture before their capital. I think I have 10 lands. They have a little bit of gold in their vaults. So a raid may be worth considering. Okay. Let me see what they say about the other one. The rebels. Information, please. Spy Master says they have a fair bit of territory, 6 lands. That's not that much compared to the bandits. And once you get all of them, you get to sack their capital, basically. They have a little bit of gold in their vaults, so a raid may be worth considering. Both of them have a little bit of gold, which I don't like. I need rich people. Alright, I'll start with these guys. Let's do a raid. Raid their lands, plunder their goods, but with some risk. Yeah, I'm trying to think of how I want to play this. So the peasants will they're tied to your income. So I'm not sure if you send them off to war, does that mean they're not harvesting and earning income for you? And that's perhaps why there are options like don't send the peasants. I think that's how it works. So I'll choose myself for now. What do I have? Peasants. I'll send like a little bit of peasants, 100, just to be meat shields maybe. I don't know. And I'll send a whole bunch of soldiers. How about 300. Knights will send 8. We'd like to send Omer the friend on the raid. Oh yeah. I'll send my other champion. How about Nash the Legless Swamp Guard will be on the raid. We'd like to use the blue tree eye or whatever blue tree fruit in this battle. Fruit is said to, I think I only have one of them, right? I'll use it for surefire. Well, I don't know if I'm totally overwhelming them or not. That's the thing. I forget how this tends to play out. I don't know. I'll use one. Fine. You can only use a single barrel of the fruit with some to spare, as you don't have enough men to consume more than a barrel's worth. So I guess it's saying it's going to be overkill and I might waste some of it. Maybe I won't use it then. Alright, I have no idea if I'm walking into suicide or not. I forget how this goes. Or if I'm giving them enough soldiers and stuff like that. I think I'm probably going to be alright. But let's see. My lord, do you wish to watch the battle take place? Yeah, let's do it. It's fun. It can get repetitive after a while, but I'm kind of introducing you guys to the game and myself after about a year. So let's do it. Yes, I want to watch the battle. A harsh acid rain pelts the battlefield. Do you wish to launch the attack or wait a while and hope for more favorable weather? If you wait for a while, you can wait for a while or wait until nightfall and no chance of retreat if you do this. 4? You want me to fall back? Arturo? Nah. That's not like you. No, let me think. Oh, that was for a different menu. Sorry about the I'm gonna say wait a while. The one about who to send. Gotcha. Sorry about that. I'll do wait a while. Oh man. After waiting for a while, the weather changes and your troops prepare us. A falling snow coats the battlefield before the two armies clashed, so the weather got worse. Moderate likelihood of weather events during battle. Plus 25% raid defense battle strength for the rebels. Through a snowy curtain, your army marches out cheering to meet their arrival. Your army paused for a moment before charging forward and clashing with the enemy. Not a good first round, but I have a lot more troops. The rebels managed to break through your center before forcing your army back. So I lost 17 soldiers, 4 peasants. They lost 2 soldiers, 5 peasants. In the midst of the battle, someone slips and falls in a funny way. One fighter laughs, and soon an entire portion of the battlefield is engulfed in a moment of humor and laughter. After a minute or so, a sudden attack leads the fighting to resume as though nothing happened. That was a good round. Look at that. You managed to take both of the enemy's flanks, trapping them momentarily and doing damage before they pulled back. I lost 1 soldier, 1 peasant. They lost 51 soldiers, 41 peasants. And the current tally of all troops is my 386, not the Intel processor, versus their 50. Stu said, did you ever see that Monty Python sketch with the deadly joke? No, I don't know if I know which one you're referring to. Oh yeah, the joke that makes everybody laugh to death. That's right, yeah. Alright, you fight forward and gain the advantage, managing to completely overrun the rebels. I lost 3 soldiers and I finished them off entirely. The raid was a success, and your troops begin looting all they can, plus 334 gold and -6 relation with rebels. Your troops managed to salvage a single chest of loot. You open the chest and find a potion that causes the drinker to become insane inside. It's worth 22 gold coins. With the battle over, you are brought a battle report showing troop losses and survivors. It's funny, you can get a really fancy battle report. It costs more money. It costs some money. But basically it tells you the overview of what happened. So the rebels lost 149 troops. I lost 26. And 382 of the 408 troops you sent survived the battle. Stop viewing battle reports. You receive a report of the goings on in the last year. Oh! Am I not able to do another raid? I thought I could do multiple. I guess you can only do 1 per year. I was hoping I could go for the bandits too. Oh well. Just how it is, I guess. So once again, I'm going to adjust my cropping because I see the left has somehow gotten cut off. And Arturo has to run an errand. Run fast, Arturo. Alright, excuse me. Stu says, pillage the homes and estates of your troops that were killed. So here's the yearly report. Income, I gained 6850 from trade, harvest tax, and tributes. 28 gold from your 1 caravan route. Peasants earned 1450 from the harvest. Earned 21 gold interest from your... It is a real small interest rate, but it's not the 0% that you suggest it's to. You can figure it out what that rate is for me, please, if you don't mind, Stu or anybody, while I keep going here. What was it like? It's less than 1%, right? Yeah, it's less than 1%. I think it's like 0.25%. That's pretty crap. It's like my checking account. You pay 1,500 in... Oh, that's because I acquired the stupid love cult. I don't even know what they do. But they're bringing happiness to my people, apparently. So hopefully that's going to pay off. 1,500 gold for the love cult. 110 for the bandits captured in the bandit scourge. So that means I was paying 5 each. So they caught 22 bandits, I guess. 1610 for 2 other expenses that are unknown. I don't know what they are. Stu says, like that drunk guy. I'm sure you have no next of kin. You list 113 peasants from your 10 lands. Your knights train 75 peasants into soldiers. Due to events and personal policy, your public opinion hasn't changed by 4. That's good. The bandit horde had lose 4 bandits in a failed attempt to raid you. Haha. Under the bandit scourge, 22 bandits have been captured, costing 110 gold. Rankar's adventurers kill off a patrol of 7 Earth soldiers. So these are my guys. These random adventurer groups killed 7 of my guys. And this one did the same thing. The Heroes of Evil kill off a patrol of 7 Earth soldiers. So I wonder if I have to go after those guys. They sound like jerks. The militia recruits 66 new peasants this year. Violet Bannered Mercenary Company have recruited 41 new mercs. These are just new, in third parties recruiting more stuff, basically. Osborne the Necro, the leader of the black market, creates a statue of himself. Spy reports are next. The rebels enlist 0 new soldiers from their 6 lands. Okay. The bandits enlist 82 new bands. Oh man, I think yeah, the Scourge only killed 22, so they got more than I killed off from my Scourge. And they have 25 new warlords. Jeez. Kingdom of Krut. Those are the goblin tribes. I should be trading with them was the idea, right? But I think I'm at war with them still. They enlist new stuff. Earth raided the battle. Battle reports. Earth raided the lands of the rebel. Dreaded Kingdom lost a skirmish with the honored Malachite Ocean Great Host. Defeated the rebels in a skirmish. Oh, cool. The skirmish. The rebels got beat up twice, basically. Your treasury, excuse me, increased by 5940, and your bank has increased by 21 gold in interest. Stu says, I need to go in a few minutes to play with my Wang, but it's been fun, Mark. Oh, so yeah, you have the Wang computer, and you're going to do a stream for that? Cool. In case anybody thought Stu was saying something unsavory. There's also an advanced report with all the details. It gets crazy detail. Let me see what the 2 other expenses were. Maybe it says here. Well, anyway, thanks for joining, Stu. And yeah, get this game if you think it looks cool. It's a lot of fun. Over time, you do tend to find certain things that are kind of just for flavor get a little repetitive and tedious, like reading all the blow by blow, messages for the arena or whatever. But overall, it's still a great game, I think. But actually, the first time you see it, first time you play it, first few times, even though all those little flavor texts that I say get tedious later, at first they're like, oh my god, this is amazing. It kind of all contributes to this awesome experience. And Eric says Stu says he's going to play with the Wang, and Mark's asked him to stream it. Yep. Glad we got an explanation. All right. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I got messages here, so I wanted to check them real quick. Okay. My friend Andy, who is one of our viewers, I'm going to be hanging out with him tomorrow. I'm sure everybody cares. And that's all my messages. All right. So yeah, my extra expense thing was what? Wait a minute. Did I have a forceful enlistment option? I don't remember doing that. Did I hit that by accident or something? But the love cult is canceling out the negative opinion. A warrior loyal to you has won a peasant tournament and dedicated the win to your glory. Anyway, okay, here are some of the other things that were left out before the wages. It's kind of like the line items. All right, so what do you guys think? Should I pay these 2 adventuring groups, or at least one of them, a visit, or do I want to focus on raiding those rebels? I don't know. There's so many people to hate. So many people to hate. So little time. Okay, let's go on to the next year, I guess. A new year is dawning. The tide of time brings in the year. New year 112, and with it comes kind skies and rich soil across the realm. Farming income will be tripled this year. That's nice. So yeah, it's already 11:38. I did tell my wife I wouldn't stream super late. I'll probably go on until 12:15 though. But yeah, I only managed to play 1 year out of 25. And maybe I'll just do 1 more year and I can go a little faster. Eric says get revenge for your 14 soldiers. Yeah, maybe that'll be a good option to do. Throne room, I got 44 people waiting. It's pretty crazy. I can do 5 pit fights apparently. 3 things to explore. That's always good to do. Let's go to the throne room. Send in the visitor. You're visited by an arena fighter who says many compliments from the people across the realm. Okay, thank him. Smiles and leaves. Visited by a farmer who says a dispute needs to be settled. My neighbor got violently drunk. Had nothing to do with my celebration, right? The crotch guard parade, whatever. Got violently drunk and smashed down my front wall. Surely he should replace it. Make the neighbor pay for the wall replacement. I assume you've still got 3 working walls. Make use of them and stop bothering me. Really, I should be like, go to the small claims court or something like that. I don't know if we have that in particular, but I'm going to say make the neighbor pay, though. Because things like that often work out. I got an extra public opinion. I accidentally skipped the message, but I got +1 public opinion due to my wisdom. Here's a musician. Sure, let's ask his name. He is Karcharoth. His origins. I hail from the Guild of Musicians to the west. Listen to his song. I listened and I gained +1 relation to Musicians Guild. Maybe I didn't disable that. Oh, but you can hit spacebar to skip. Yeah, spacebar to skip never worked. Maybe it did just work now. I don't know. So, last time I said that was acceptable and it kind of canceled my Musician Guild bonus. I think if I pay the 50, I'll get an extra bonus. Or if I just say that was a great performance, it'll do nothing. So I'll still have the +1 from before. I think that's how it works. Actually, that was a +2, even though I didn't give money. So yes, sometimes you gotta just kind of be diplomatic with these people, even if they're running up to you and playing crappy music. He has to play a song in his vampiric lute. How do we get him to leave nicely? Well, also, what happens if I have one? Cool, I got an extra +1 to the Musician's Guild. Now, as cool as this game is, I'm saying it's like a one-man show, one guy doing everything. One thing he could probably do is have a musician actually record these musical interludes. So that doesn't sound like... Alright, that's good. That was so bad, my general is considering using your music as a method of dispersing protests. I'll just say that was great and leave him. Okay, you can go now. You're visited by a member of the Earth Militia who wishes to fight for you directly. Sure, join. +1 soldier, -1 militia. Old man says, could you spare a few coins as the man's dog is starving? There is no game in the wild. You can have 2. I did nothing. I probably have to give 20 to get a bonus to public opinion. You're visited by a traveling bard. He has to play a song in his vampiric lute. Another one of you guys? Sure, fine. It's not letting me skip it though, so I'm inclined to just tell him to go away so I don't have to hear this again. Okay, I'm gonna let him leave now. I'll say that was great. Now you can leave. You're visited by an ex-member of the Earth Militia. He said he was wrongly removed from the militia and seeks to join you. I'll reject him. I don't know if he was wrongly removed. He scowls at you and charges out. You're visited by an armed man who says he's a lone mercenary. He can be hired to join your army for 29 gold. Yeah. Welcome aboard. Asks if you can spare a few coins as he cannot eat. Let's try the 60 because I think it'll increase my public opinion. Yep, +1 public opinion. The old man signs and says, you know what? Got myself quite nervous before coming in. You know, meeting the ruler of a kingdom as a lowly man as myself. But you are pleasantly very kind and personable. Thank you for your time and kindness. I wish you the best luck in your time to come. And then he bows and leaves. Alright, let us hire the steward who can help manage the throne room. I think I have to do that in the manage staff menu. Let's get a steward. Because as you can see, it just gets overwhelming the amount of throne interactions you have to do. And again, it's one of the things that at first you're like, oh my god, this is so fun. And then after a while, you're like, I really gotta do like 38 more of these? Alright. Or like, you can always just not do them though, I guess. I think overall you get bonuses from them though. Anyway, 3 potential stewards are sent to your court. You may speak to each of them to learn of their skills and talents. Okay, Elsie the Disappointed Brute. I'm Elsie the Disappointed Brute. My father was one of the greater stewards in the realm, and I will follow in his footsteps. I promise, and I was raised with a goblin you ought to know. Okay. Alright, let me move this for a moment. Goblin Tribe. Just thought you ought to know. Okay. Now let me readjust this again. Okay. Just thought you ought to know I will make your enemies bow to your might. I demand payment of 137 gold per year. Dude, I'm hiring you to manage my throne room. You're like, I demand this. So he's a goblin friend. Worm the Abrased. I am Worm the Abrased. I am going to be real with you. Send away any of the other swines who seek this job. I am the only candidate. And again, this is going to run on. I am excellent in matters of stewardship and won't let you down. I will try and recruit as many men as possible for your armies. It would be a supreme honor to serve at your side. I beg for payment of 161 gold per year. At least he was kind of humble about it rather than demanding the payment. So his deal is he's military oriented. And lastly, we have Nothar, the Creep Smuggler. Greetings, I am Nothar, the Creep Smuggler. I suppose I'm a decent steward and I love gold. I won't let yours leave the court, don't you worry. I promised my mother I would serve you. What? I ask for payment of 143 gold per year. Alright, so this one's good with gold, one's good with military, one's a friend of the goblins. I think I like military or money grubber. The second one has a higher skill level, apparently. Look, this one has 59 only. Well, yeah, I think I'll go with 2. Worm the Abrased. Alright, I have my steward. Should I get a court jester? 3 potential court jesters are sent to your court. You may speak to each of them to learn of their skills and talents. We have Harengoth the Warfonger, Alvor the Meat Grinder. These don't sound like entertainers. They sound like really badass warriors or something. Uthtar the Vault Raider. Let's check out Harengoth. I'm Harengoth the Warforger. I would go so far as to say there are few who can outmatch me in comedy, and I specialize in non-orc jokes. Please hire me. It was prophesied by the ancient text. You will pay me 62 gold per year. Okay. So he specializes in non-orc jokes. I'm trying to think of what I should make of that, like value-wise. I don't know what to make of that. I guess if maybe if I had strong relations with orcs, if I had a court jester who makes fun of orcs, it would mess up the friendship. This guy says, hi, I'm my name's Alvor, the meat grinder. Rob Bob says he's not racist. He's only not racist against orcs, though. I won't make you laugh. My jokes aren't like that. But you'll be slightly amused. And I specialize in non-orc jokes, too? Wait, did I pick the same one? Or we have 2 non-orc joke specialists. We have 2 non-orc joke specialists. Jeez. Alright, it was number 3. They're like identical, those two, pretty much. I mean, their skill levels vary a little bit in their price. Greetings, my name is Uthtar the Vault Raider. I will make you laugh, and I specialize in everything. If you don't hire me, some other noble will. I require a payment of 64 gold per year. Okay, he's a generalist, but as he puts it, he specializes in everything. I don't think you can specialize in everything. That kind of point of the word specialization is you're not doing everything. You focus on one thing. And Eric says, gotta get that guy. Yeah, I think I agree. Although I'm not really sure how much I need a court jester. I'll get one anyway. Hire them. Alright, so now I have pretty much all the staff slots filled, although I could get multiple extra champions if I wanted to. Alright, let's see. What else can I do? Some pit fighting bets. Did I take out money from the bank? I guess I have 59.73. I must have. What do we got here? Homeless Doomed Merman Champion versus Sunset Troglodyte. Huh. Homeless, homeless Doomed Merman Champion. I guess I'll go with the Merman Champion, even though he's homeless and doomed. I don't know. 500. This would be really cool if this game was multiplayer somehow, like a BBS game. Like maybe you could invade each other or trade with each other and choose to be allies or enemies. Like you're all doing this on your own end, you know, rather than just against NPCs. Anyway, let's see what happens. Our selected champion does have more hit points. Sunset Troglodyte takes a kick. Why is my press any key not working? The crowd boos and shout at Sunset Troglodyte. Okay. Merman champion swings and stabs the Troglodyte. All right, so far so good. Crowd starts chanting, Sunset Troglodyte, Sunset Troglodyte, Sunset Troglodyte. That's an awkward chant. Maybe just Troglodyte, Troglodyte. But they're betting on the wrong horse, I think. Merman champion swings his sword around several times for the crowd. And Merman champion gets a light hit on Sunset Troglodyte. The crowd cheer loudly with people cheering on both fighters. Ooh, what happened here? Merman champion catches the Troglodyte with a quick hit on the head. Merman champion gets a good little strike on the Troglodyte. Merman champion takes a wild swing, but the Troglodyte dodges it, and the Merman champion swings and stabs Sunset Troglodyte hard. Troglodyte, he's dead. He wins 750 gold. Yeah, so I think this must be the difficulty level. Makes it pretty easy. So I'm playing on the easy level. I definitely remember there was at some point I played it was like all tough to call. But it could have been I was playing just a higher difficulty level. Let's keep getting our free money though. Well, this one I'm not sure of. The homeless. I'm totally at a loss about what homeless indicates. Does it mean they're weaker because they're homeless? Anyway, we have homeless Death Eater Guardian person versus Death Eater Perfect. I don't know what that means. This one is quite ambiguous to me. I feel like Guardian is a plus, but homeless is a minus. Does that mean it's pretty much 50-50 then? I will pick the first one, but keep my bet low. 100. I think I said I only have 5 bets this year, though, so... Okay, the homeless guy has a lot more hit points.
Overkill.
Wow. Okay. Hit him from an unexpected direction and just one-shot at him. Eric says homeless can sure put up a fight. Yeah. So I have, okay, there's only 3 fights scheduled for the rest of the year. That's it. So if I want to make my money's worth, I got to go higher. All right, so if I see any obvious, apparently obvious better fighter, I will put down a lot of money. Unfortunately, this one is not too obvious. Death Eater Guardian person, who's the same as the last victor, except he's not homeless, versus Mysterious Doomed Militant Merman. I have no idea. What do you guys think? Mysterious could mean he's got mysterious powers. I don't know. I think I'm leaning to number 2, but I'm not willing to put a huge bet on it. I'm gonna go with number 2 unless you guys have any thoughts. All right, I'm gonna go with number 2. Again, I'm being a wuss. I don't want to put a big bet down. I'll put a little bit bigger than last time. Let's go with 300. Last time I bet a mere 100. Yeah, no idea. Okay, they're roughly equal hit point wise. Death Eater Guardian person has a slight edge. Okay, Merman's getting beat up. Getting beat up some more. Getting beat up a lot more. Oh, Death Eater takes a hit. Oh, yeah, I've been on the wrong horse here. Okay.
Extreme overkill.
Extreme overkill. Damn. I did bet on the Merman. Arturo said he should have bet on the Merman. They know Fishman karate. I just lost by 300. There's only 2 more fights though, so I gotta get a really obvious one and put a lot of money on. But I'm not really getting obvious ones. Infamous Death Eater Guardian person. Well, I think that's probably. Yeah, I think given the last fight, probably number 1 is stronger, and also this one is infamous. It's pretty much the same as last time. Except I forget if one adjective might have been off for the mermaid for different. But infamous probably means he's badass. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna put a hefty bet down too. Not like all my money kind of a thing. But 2,000. It's the same fight as before, except the first one was infamous, I think. Should I go hefty? Like really crazy with the bet? Alright, I'm gonna do it. How much money do I have in the bank? Do I have any? Is that all my money? No, I shouldn't get too crazy, right? I'll stick with 2,000. It's still a pretty hefty bet. I don't want to be like unable to do anything. Anything that costs money. Okay. Yeah, okay. We got him. I'm just going fast through it.
Overkill.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's holding on pretty good, but yeah, all right. So we made 3,000 gold. That's cool. So there's only 1 more fight scheduled for the year. I guess let's just jump into it. Famous mouthless Lake Kobold warrior or famous goblin warlord. I think we had a similar situation before, except it was just a regular goblin, and neither of them was famous. This goblin's a warlord. So warlord is probably a higher level than warrior. They're both famous. I don't know, maybe the goblin. I guess it depends how much warlord factors into his strength. But I think the mountainous lake kobolds are inherently a little bit stronger. I don't know. You guys have any thoughts? I'm not willing to put a large sum on this one. Starting to lean back to number 1 though. Goblin says Arturo. Any thoughts, Eric, or anybody else? Rob Bob? Kobold can't bite. Goblin for... Oh, Shael, welcome, by the way. He said Goblin for sure. All right, maybe I'll go for that. To the Goblin. Got 2 votes for the Goblin. But yeah, I am still being too chicken to make a huge bet on this. I'll put it 500. Wow. Yeah, I guess his warlord level really gives him a lot of strength. At least a lot of hit points. Okay. Jeez, okay. Wow. That was a no-doubter. Okay, so that's it. Little goblin will mess up that kobold. Yeah, he sure did. Wow. That was probably one of the most one-sided fights we've seen. Speak to the pit owner. Ezak the warg like, what is it, he asks. What is this place? What does it look like to you? A hat shop? This is the arena. I want to stop taxing you. No. I would like you to close this place down. Who are you? Yeah, I guess warlords are overpowered, huh? Who are you? I am the owner of this place. I am a busy man, may I remind you. I would like to purchase this place from you. It costs 55,000. I don't have that. Alright, that's it for that place. So is my steward actually taking care of this place, or do I have to say do a thing? Yeah, I think he's just gonna do it probably. Shall we arrange entertainment for the fun of it? How about a well, what do you guys think? What kind of entertainment should I have for my throne room? Musical, that's number 1. 2 is comedy, 3 is magic and mystery, 4 is violence. So of course Arturo votes for violence. Number 4. 5, everything else. 6, arrange a royal celebration. Let's see what's in everything else just for the heck of it. Okay, random things like juggler, acrobat, etc. I will go with 4. We have a vote for 4. Violence. Rat racer, yeah. Invite a set of brawlers. Invite an eastern scorpion breeder. Invite a pair of axe throwers. Let's start with an eastern scorpion breeder. The goal is paid, and the breeder is summoned, bringing 2 cages with a scorpion in each ready to fight. A man walks forth with 2 servants, pushing cages behind him. He grins and says, "Greetings to you all. We are scorpion fighters from the east. Watch these ferocious beasts fight. It's amusing." The cage, look at them wheeling them. Oh, those are the scorpions. I thought they were wheeling the cages. The cage doors slide open and 2 scorpions emerge, pincers snapping and stabbing. You watch as the red Duneland scorpion and the small oasis scorpion charge in and prepare to fight. Small oasis scorpion leaps forth and hits red Duneland scorpions for 2 damage. Red Duneland scorpion leaps forth and hits small oasis scorpion for 10 damage. And small leaps forth and hits red for 1. Red leaps forth and hits small for 6. Scorpions fight for a while, but ultimately red Duneland scorpion is the winner of the fight. The man bows and his servants drag away the scorpion corpse and trap the winner in his cage before leaving. Okay. So I don't know if that affects the outcomes of the throne room visitors, or did I just waste money to see a little fun animation? I'm hoping it did something useful. All right. Good point. Eric says, drag away the scorpion corpses. How big were these scorpions? Yeah, were they giant scorpions? Still don't really have a good feel if I want to like try to get more soldiers or not. More knights. Look at other hireable units. Build a foreign mercenary hall. Yeah, soldiers aren't cheap. I have 2,100 men, but what are all of them? How do you see that again? I don't know how you see that. Arturo says, or the people moving them are tiny. I'm going to sell units just to see how many I have. It still doesn't show me. I feel like if I hit 1, maybe it'll tell me then. I have 1545 peasants, a lot of peasants. I have 546 soldiers. I feel like I don't have a lot of knights, right? 15 knights, all right. Yeah, again, it's kind of hard to tell if I have a good number or not, but I feel like for now I'm probably okay. And if you have too many, you have to pay their salary, so don't want to go too high either. Did I take all my money out from the bank? Oh, look at that. I still have 8. Ah, I got quite a bit of money then. Yeah, because all the money I have on hand is from my my income, and then I had all the money I deposited last time. Okay. So let me just put it all in my hand just so I can actually I don't know if that's risky, but 15 grand is good. Maybe they can buy stuff. Yay. Kingdom upgrades. Guild and order, I don't know. Emissary hut. +1 emissary for contacting adventurers. That's cheap enough, let's get it. Could try to contact an adventurer now. Training grounds. Trains 1 to 50 peasants to soldiers per turn. 10 grand. Can buy a lot of stuff now though. Gonna improve the crotch guard. You can put spikes on. Sharp defense is the best offense. Productivity, sturdy sides and pitchforks. Yeah, we'll get plus 10% income from harvest. That's gonna cost 5,000 up front, but that's probably gonna be worth it in the long term. More income buildings. Advanced trade posts. That's pretty much all my money if I buy that. Military. Yeah, I was already here, wasn't I? Yeah, I like the idea of having plus to battle score. They can get upgrade their military weapons again. It's for the militia. Okay, why don't we go explore? So we did the north and the east a little bit, although obviously we didn't find everything. We found one of 30 things in the north and one of 29 things in the east. Let's try the west. Denland is one of the most peaceful places in all the realms. Little more than farmland and workers, and hardly any room for trouble at all. The land is fertile and the folk are mostly happy. Okay. The western roads prove no help as you wander aimlessly. -1 exploration chances. Boo. Try again. You find a small campfire and an outcropping near some trees. In other words, nothing again. Should I do my one more here? Or go elsewhere? I'll just do it here. I don't think it's like... The fact that I found nothing before, I don't think it's indicative of anything else. Okay, I found something. Yay, I'm glad I found something. The Montfort Mine, Harlaw Mining Company. Let's check it out. Montfort Mine. You come upon Montfort Mine, a large mine complex marked with spears prodding out of the ground. The place is filled with miners chipping away and piling ore into small baskets. We're informed this mine is controlled by the Harlaw Mining Company, which is a company run by peasant miners. You can attack them. They have 350 men. You can offer to buy the mine for 35k. Demand a tribute. Speak to the master. Speak to a random miner. Let's start with a random miner. My grandfather was a miner. My father was a miner, and now my son will join me. A proud moment. Let's try to speak to another one. Is it the same thing? Get a different message each time. My wife hates my work. I always come covered in stuff. I had a terrible day today. Didn't find a single piece of ore. Can you believe it? Speak to the master. The master of the mine approaches and bows to you. Ask about the mine. Montfort's been ours for quite some time. Good mine. Lots of ore inside. Wouldn't swap it for any other mine around here, that's for sure. Ask about the company. We formed out small independent mining groups and then hired lots of locals. It's a good operation and we all get paid well. Ask about the West. The West is our home, but I won't ignorantly claim it's the best place as I haven't been north, east, or south. I will say, however, that the West, or at least where I have been, is a very, very nice region. Ask about the ore inside the mine. The mine contains a total of 10,648 ore. Okay. Well, I think I'll demand a tribute. Is that going to be too much of a jerky thing for me? Nah, I'll take it. The master of the mine arrives to greet you, and here's your request. He agrees that from now on you shall receive tribute from the mine, and he does not want to cross a king. But he doesn't seem too happy about the request. Well, my public opinion didn't go down, so you now receive an annual tribute from the mine. Thank you. Come again. Alright, that's all my exploration I can do. But I could visit the place I've already been to. It doesn't, like... You only spend chances to explore to find a new place. I can actually visit here and do something if I wanted to, like, take them over or buy slaves. Yeah, they got 1,500 men here. The mine only had like 300. I could probably more likely conquer them if I wanted to. Alright, I'm going to try buying slave soldiers even though I find it dirty. Just to see how it works mechanically. Well, these are slaves and not the soldiers though. What's the difference? I guess these are probably more like peasants. And the soldiers are like soldiers. I'm curious if this knocks down your public opinion. Let's buy some of them. They have 525, 5 gold each. I have 7,000. I'll buy 50. Okay, you just get soldiers. I think you don't have to pay them pay them a wage, right? So I wouldn't have to pay them each year. Actually quite good from a selfish point of view. But how did that curious how that shows up in my troops here. I just sell units. Are they considered soldiers? Just ordinary soldiers now? I don't remember how many I had though, but I think I had over 500. So if I just bought 50, then they're not figured into soldiers. They're separate, I think. I could just buy one now and see. I have 546 soldiers, so if I go and buy one slave, I can figure out if it figures into soldiers. Yeah, that didn't change. It's 546 still. Okay. Was just curious. Alright, I do gotta get going soon. I guess I'll just poke around a little more and then end the round and do another attack. But what else do I want to do before I do that? I'm not sure. I feel like I should be attempting diplomacy more. Check out those adventurer groups. Who were the bad ones? The ones who attacked me? The Weevils were one of them. Don't remember the first one though. Was it Rankars? Well, I know that the Weevils were bad. Let me see what they have to say. They're a group of sacred terramancers who engage in slavery. They're wary of us, but not outright hostile. They killed some of my patrolmen. View Weevil the Flesh Terror's information. 265 is the battle score. Name Weevil the Flesh Terror, Sacred Terramancers. They have 4 Sacred Terramancers in their adventuring group and 66 slaves. Reputation unknown. Their history. They're an adventure group led by Weevil the Flesh Terror. Their origin is unknown, but they are made up of 4 sacred terramancers and are dedicated to enslaving as many people as possible in... Wait, what? In 112 kill off... Oh, the year 112 kill off a patrol. Yeah, my 7-ear soldiers. I don't like them for that. I can send a small war band to fight them once per turn. 1 night, 20 soldiers. Or send out a large war band to fight them once per turn. 5 nights, 100 soldiers. Maybe I'll do that. I mean, they would just... Well, they're pretty strong individually, but... They had, what, like 90 slaves? It might be an even match or so. If I send the large one. I'm not really sure, though. Kind of suck if I lost 100 soldiers in 5 nights. Let's summon them to the throne room. See what they have to say. You wish to summon the heroes of Weevil to your throne room. How do you propose we do it? Attending the contact will use one of your emissaries for the year. You have 2. Okay. So I can send An emissary summoning them to my throne room with an offer or with a demand, or send an emissary with a gift and invite them. Decent success for the 100 gold. Send them with a generous gift and invite them. 500 gold, high success. Send an emissary with a excuse me, very generous gift and invite them. 2,500 gold, highest success. Let's try number 2, a demand. Send out an emissary with a demand for the heroes of evil to come to your court. Your emissary heads off to try and convince the heroes of evil. Anything could happen, but several things can impact your chance of success. No chance due to your offer. No change due to your offer. -3 due to your relations with them. +1 due to you owning some slaves. They actually like me a little bit better because they own some slaves. And -4 due to your high public opinion. Okay, so it sounds like unlikely. They refuse the invitation, but sends a warm greeting to you. Should we send out a warband? Maybe their information again. Yeah, so they're stronger than a knight. They have 4 guys of 265 strength. And what is the strength of a knight? Can I even see that? I don't know if I can. Well, let's give it a try anyway for the fun of it. Even if I lose them all, maybe I'll take out at least 1 or 2 of their guys, if it works that way. Alright, so 5 knights, 100 soldiers versus their 4 super dudes and a bunch of slaves. Let's see what happens. Yeah! The leading knight lets out a war cry and runs out with the rest of the troops ready to fight with the heroes of evil. You await the news of your warband. Yeah! Your men destroy the heroes of evil and return as heroes. The heroes of evil are no more. That was easy. Your warband brings you a chest looted from the heroes of evil with a stone that is always freezing cold inside. It's worth 110 gold coins. Okay, so I'm back at the adventurers list, but why do they still exist? I thought I wiped them out. Cool. It says the group has no living members and is defunct. Sweet. That's what you get for killing my patrolman. Now, unfortunately, I forgot the other group that killed my patrolman last time, but I think it might have been Rancor. I'm trying to see if I can check that. I can always check my video and rewind. I'm going to spend a minute doing that. If it takes too long, I'll just give up, though. So, how long ago was that when I ended the year? I think I remember saying it's like 11:30 and I just finished the first year. So that would mean like 48-ish minutes ago. There we go. End of the year. I found it with the snow in the battle and everything. So while I look this up, bear with me a second. It shouldn't take too much longer. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it was Rankar's adventurers kill a patrol of 7 of my soldiers. Alright, we're going after Rancor now, if it doesn't seem like a suicide run or something. Okay. They do not like us and will avoid us the best thing. They didn't avoid me, they attacked me. View their information. Again, their adventurers are stronger than a knight at about the same level, I think. Were the other guys secret Terramancers too? Information. There's 7 of them though. Their goal is theft. History. Adventure group led by Rancor the Candlelighter. Their origin is unknown, but they are made up of 7 sacred Terramancers and are dedicated to stealing as much gold as possible. In 112, that's right, I didn't have to rewind, I could have just checked here. In 112, killed off a patrol of 7 Earth soldiers. Oh, I've already attacked a group this year. I can't do it again. Oh well. I'll get you guys next time. All right, all right. What else can I do before I wrap up and attack somebody again? Actually, I'm not sure if I can since I did that group raid. I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to think, should I get one of these guys? It seems so expensive though. Maybe when I have a lot of money. Yeah, let's wait on them. Any other upgrades I should do? Change the laws of the land. Social policies, alms for the poor. That helps you with your public opinion, but that's already pretty good. Force everyone to wear hats. What is that? Should I increase your wages to increase your loyalty? Let me try that. Problem is, it's going to be quite an increase because if I want to increase the soldiers, they're currently 1 gold each. It would have to be double. That would be the minimum, right? Increasing it to 2. All right, I'm going to do it anyway. I want loyal soldiers. Increase it to 2. Okay. I'll leave the knights alone for now. So yeah, I'm assuming the steward is going to take care of the remaining 25 or 35 visitors in the throne room. That's what I meant to do. Yeah, let's end the year, I guess. Deposit my monies. And the question is, if I can attack, who should I attack? Let's check Kingdom reports, actually. Okay, there's my slave soldiers. Faction rankings. Richest faction is the Honored Malachite. Most overall troops is the Feanor's Bandit Horde, and the most territory is Feanor's Bandit Horde. Most tier 1 units, peasants, Nalfurg. Most tier 2 units, soldiers, Nalfurg. Most tier 3 units is Ocean Great Host. Most densely populated faction, Feanor's Bandit Horde. Alright. What are the stats of my questing knights? A report is brought forth. You see that there is currently a single knight out questing for you. While not all questing knights have the fortune to return to you alive, those that do will visit you in the throne room and will tell you of their deeds or misdeeds. Up your troop count. Alright, let's go end the round. I'll go to Steward. This is his report about the throne room shenanigans. Your steward, Worm the Abrased, bows to you and says, I have dealt with the 35 visitors and petitioners for you. Here is my report. I spent a total of 122 gold. I earned a total of 168 gold. I had 2 people imprisoned. I hired a peasant, 2 soldiers, a goblin, a knight. Public opinion has grown by 5 points. Interesting. Who do we attack? So one way to play this is we could persist at attacking the rebels and try to like actually obliterate them. Or I could try to take down the bandit horde so they don't get too big for their britches. So rebels, that's what I'm thinking. I could also attack other places, but thinking either 1 or 2. So what do you guys think? Rebels again or the bandit horde? Eric says number 2. Okay. What about you, Arturo? Or Rob Bob or Shael, if any of you guys are still there. Sorry if I don't not pronounce your name right. Shael. but I'll go with number 2 unless there's dissenting opinion. Arturo says 2. All right, let's do it. Let's attack them bandits. Give me some information, please. Spymaster says they have a great deal of territory. Yeah, we need that 25 lands before we capture the capital. They have a bit of gold in their vents. A raid may be worth considering. Should we go with the full-scale invasion? Oh, I really don't know how many I should send in if I do that. Maybe I'll keep it at... I guess that's the only way you can actually capture the lands. I think number 1... I don't know what the reward is actually. You just kill some of them, I guess. Number 2, you get to take plunder, take goods. But you don't actually capture land unless you do an invade. Alright, it's the end of the stream, and who knows if I'll pick up the game again, the particular save game, so maybe I'll just go with invasion. But now I don't know what I should do, troop-wise. Wish I could get the Spymaster to like give me some kind of indication of what scale I should be sending troops, you know what I mean? Alright. I'm going to send a lot of peasants, though, even though I want to earn income with most of them. I don't want to lose an invasion, so I'm going to go with, let's say, half of the peasants. About half. Slave soldiers, all of them. Regular soldiers. Christ, it's 400. Knights, 12. Goblin tribals, sure you can go. Ulmer the friend, yeah, do it. Other champions too, yeah. This is gonna be risky. Yes, use as much as I can of the blue tree fruit stuff. Alright, I have no idea if I'm gonna get totally massacred here or not. Again, it is kind of the end of the stream. I gotta go to bed. And let's see what happens. A crescent moon adorns the battlefield. Do you wish to launch the attack? Or wait a while in hope of more favorable weather? Oh, I guess it always says this. It doesn't sound like there's anything wrong with the weather. I'm just gonna go. Send them forth. Oh, man. They get plus 50% invasion, defense, battle strength. Because it's clear weather? Okay. Wait, so last time it was a plus 25% in the snow. Is it better to attack in bad weather? Oh, well, let's see what happens. Beneath the half moon, your army marches out to meet the enemy. A few of your men appear to break ranks, but it's a trick. Luring the enemy out of formation, your men charge forward. Plus 10% initial battle strength bonus. The bandits fight forward and gain a small momentary advantage over your forces. Alright, so they dealt more damage than I did. But look at the remaining troop strength. I got about 1100. They have about half of that. And it looks like I'm killing more of them than they are of me right now. Okay. Alright, alright. Break through the lines and manage to push the bandits back a little. They're killing all my slave soldiers. No, just some of them. Nash the Legless Swamp Guard duels a trio of enemies and kills all 3 in seconds. Nice, Mr. Legless champion. Killed 3 bandits and no losses on my side. Omer the friend blocks an arrow fired at him with a quick flick of his sword. You break through the lines and manage to push the bandits back a little. I lost a knight, unfortunately, but that's going to happen, I guess. But they lost 9 bandit warlords and 100 bandits right here. In the midst of the chaos, a small whistling sound can be heard. And suddenly an anvil crashes down from the sky. What? Like Looney Tunes? It's unclear where it's come from, but it narrowly misses the fighters and Yosemite Sam. Oh man, that was horrible. Jeez. Bandits managed to form an effective pincer and overrun the opponent's flanks. Lost a ton of stuff, but they barely lost anything. Alright, I mean, if that kind of thing happens multiple times, I could lose this. Otherwise, it seems like I have the advantage. Amidst the horrific fighting and gory violence, one of the fighters falls to the side and begins throwing up everywhere. And that's worth reporting for some reason. Oof. Okay. You fight forward and gain some marginal ground over the bandits. The bandits push forward and outflank your forces, but still no one side seems to have the upper hand. Yeah, this is kind of... I'm taking a lot of hits here. It's just, I think I should win this. War of attrition. Oh, jeez. Effective pincer and overrun your opponent's... Oh, that's not good. Oh, man, it's not going well. That was good. Omar the friend shouts, "My sword is named Death, and soon you shall meet it." Omar the friend charges forth and assaults the enemy lines with ferocity. No ally losses. 1 bandit warlord killed, 12 bandits killed. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Alright, I think I got this now. You fight forward and gain the advantage, managing to completely overrun the bandits. So I took a lot of casualties, but I guess I'm going to win this. There we go. Managed to push the bandits back a little bit, slightly out fighting the bandits. And yeah, I killed them. The invasion was a success, and your troops have conquered a new territory from the enemy. Our borders grow larger. +1 land from the bandits, -1 land for the bandits, -12 relation with the bandits. With the battle over, you are brought a battle report showing troop losses and survivors. You currently have 46 gold pieces. Let's view the battle report. The bandits lost 636 troops. You lost 871 troops. Yeah, they fought better. But they had a +50% defense strength. So. And I had +10 on my side. I guess they still had quite an edge with that bonus. Alright. Shall we look at a breakdown of my losses? Yeah, I lost 7 knights, 533 peasants, 294 soldiers, 37 slave soldiers. Oof. Enemy losses. Just a bunch of bandits and bandit warlords. Oh, my lord, we're under attack from the rebels. I want to watch the battle take place. I always forget how this works. Only my men that I didn't send out to fight, are they the only ones available to defend? I think that's the case. Alright, let's see what happens. You have 1,175 men total and 11 lands. Your men are spread equal. Oh, you have the militia who can fight too. Your men are spread equally across the land. So 116 defenders guard this one. Ooh. The militia have sent 66 troops to assist the defense. So 182 defenders. Let's see what they got. A foggy night sky shrouds the battlefield before the two armies clash. Moderate likelihood of weather events during battle. Through the night mist, the rebels charge forward in an aggressive manner. +1 initial battle strength for the rebels. For a moment, the battle ceases and both sides stand and stare at each other before charging to fight once more. Okay, they didn't send a huge army at me. You feign a withdrawal and manage to get the rebels to move out of the better position before turning back and attacking. On the edge of the battlefield, a tall tree falls down hard and hits a spot where several troops are standing. Okay. In the midst of the chaos, a swarm of bees hits the battlefield and begins stinging and attacking everyone. This game's crazy. Alright, I mean, it seems to be doing mostly roughly equal damage lately. Yeah. But they have very few troops left at this point. Okay, just have to kill the remaining 4, and I have 127 left. There we go, we fought them off. The skirmishing force of the rebels was stopped and put to death by your brave defenders. With the battle over, you are brought a battle report showing troop losses and survivors. And again, let's take a quick look. They lost 110 troops, I lost 70. Let's get a report for the whole year. Simple report. Let's get the more advanced report, actually. All right, so tributes and taxes. That's a good amount of money. $745 in rent from the 11 lands, $316 from tributes from the mining company. We're not happy that I asked them to give me tribute. $231 from your bank tax law. $1755 from your gambling tax law. $2254 from general taxes. Your presents earn you 2823 gold from this year's harvest. Trade caravans earn 76. 19 gold interest from the bank. Love cult raised public opinion by 5. Troop changes. You enlist 125 peasants. Your knights train 45 peasants into soldiers. Wages. Pay 50 to Old Kroll, 55 to Aaron Law, 64 to Uthar the Jester, 70 to Goran Pikener the General, 161. I won't read every little thing, but 582 for the soldiers, 27 for the knights. 1650 in fees and the love cult bring happiness to people. 85 gold for the bandits captured in your bandit scourge. Your heavy defense palisades managed to prevent a raid from happening. Under the bandit scourge, 17 bandits have been captured, costing 85. Herclar, the goblin slaver, has been killed in what appears to be a revolt by his imprisoned goblins. Militia recruits 154 new peasants. Some mercenary groups recruit a bunch of mercenaries. Bandit horde hires a warband of 50 new bandits from the black market. Spy reports rebels enlist 17 new soldiers from their 6 lands. Bandits enlist 93 new bandits and 24 new warlords from their 24 lands. They had 25 last turn, so take that, bandits. Kingdom of Krut enlist stuff. Kingdom of Iraq enlist stuff. Those are the goblin kingdoms. Ears invade the lands of the bandits. The rebels lost a skirmish with you. Honored Malachite hired mercenary company of Wiglin to invade the lands of the Krut. Honored Malachite invaded the lands of the Krut. Ocean Great Host raided the lands of the rebels. Total finance. Your treasury has increased by 56 gold, and your bank has increased by 19 gold in interest. Whew. Well, that was pretty cool. With the old year faded, the year 113 has begun, and with it comes a feeling that this is the year of goblin kind. And both of these goblin kingdoms' populations swell. All right. With that, it is 12:37 a.m. Told my wife I'm coming to bed early. So for her, this is probably a little on the late side. And that's all right. But we played 2 years, just 2 years out of the 25 in this game. So there's a lot more to do. I could actually continue this another day. I might be inclined to possibly play a few years offline, and then we can resume from there. I don't know. We'll see. And thank you, Eric. Yeah, Eric says, good stream, Mark. Thanks for staying up late. Yeah, I always have a lot of fun doing these streams. My problem is staying up too late sometimes. And yeah, what a game. This is quite a cool game. And again, it's kind of a passion project by this dude named, what's his name? H-U-W. I don't know how to pronounce that. I say like Hugh, what's his last name again? Hugh Millward. And you can check him out on, he has a blog with procedurally generated stuff. And yeah, buy his game if you like this. It's only $6. Just some random dude doing something he loves. And yeah, you're welcome, Arturo. But that's all, everybody. I guess I'll probably see you guys on Thursday. I plan to do another old games on a Thursday stream. But that's it for now. Thank you again, everyone. See you next time. Take care.